Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another season of Aspirant Hearthstone here, season 5. And we thought last season was our biggest. Man, were we mistaken. We got 45 competitors in a 9-week season. My name is Jimmy Cat, joined today by Dragon Rider. Dragon, how you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing really well. I'm so excited for this. Yeah, season 5, like you said, biggest season yet. We have some pretty high caliber players, I'd say, too, all around. So this is really exciting, but feels good to be back with the Aspirant broadcasts as well, in addition to the season altogether.
Absolutely. It's great to be back in the fold, great to be back in front of a mic and being able to break down the games. And what a way to kick off the season with a rematch of last year's championship. We got Fanboy looking to defend his title this season, and he's going up against GermanShep, who wants simply nothing but revenge in this grudge match. That's just, I don't know how else you can script that, really.
Yeah, it's a pretty sweet week 1 matchup.
Yep, and then our second matchup, we also got Kazghar and NoGlocko, 2 members of our broadcast team actually going to be going at it. So we'll be able to see them in action. But going into this season, as we said, 45 competitors. We had to expand our season. Normally it's 8 games, 8 weeks we play. But now we had to expand it to 9. We have 5 divisions of 9 competitors. Everyone's going to be competing once for a number of playoff spots. We're actually not sure on the playoff format. We were not informed of how that would work out. But then again, it's also too early in the season to see how that would go. So overall, just excitement all around going into the season. I don't think you could have I don't think you could have had more excitement going into a season here in Aspirant than this season, with all the promotion that everyone has done, getting new competitors in, and just the fact that we're able to grow to where we're at is just absolutely incredible.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, biggest season, playoffs.
Yes.
I think some of the players are already kind of looking ahead to the playoffs, because the way that Aspirant works is there is an entry fee to get in, but that all goes towards the prize pool. And with it being this biggest season yet, it's also the biggest prize pool that everyone has to look forward to as well. So that's another big thing that is kind of different this season than in the past. It's a very large prize pool this season.
And it also could be a large playoff format as well, because last year we had to have 2 wildcard games to determine who moves on to the round of 16. Now it's more, we may have to have 24, 30, something like that. We gotta give us our CEO to figure out what in the sweet heck is going on with this. But let's get right into our first game here. Let's talk about here Fanboy, the defending champion, taking on his opponent from last season's championship game, GermanShep. Both are looking to get right on track, 1-0 in this season. Who do you think really going into the season has the advantage between these 2 competitors?
Oh, I want to say Fanboy, just because I think that, like you mentioned, he's riding kind of on that last season victory, and he really has kind of the most experience in that. But GermanShep is no slouch in that department either. He's made playoffs several seasons now, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know. This is a really sweet match to watch first.
Yes, it is. It is indeed. And of course, like we said, this is the first match of the night. So without further ado, let's get right into taking a look at the deck list for this week 1 matchup here. I swear I am going to love that transition right there. As we take a look at Fanboy's deck, coming in with Rogue, Druid, Priest, and Mage. All popular choices, especially Priest and Mage with the recent Scholarman's Academy expansion.
Yeah, really interesting too. No Warrior in this lineup. Warrior is also another very popular class right now. But yeah, Mage kind of been dominating in a lot of spots, and definitely a high skill class as well. And then Priest is kind of interesting because there's a few different variants of Priest that are kind of going around, and as well with Druid and Rogue. And I think we are going to see some differences in those decks. So do you want to give a rundown just kind of what are we seeing with these decks here?
Well, let's start off with the rogue one here. This should be your standard, more kind of like an aggro rogue. You got Janice Barav in there, which really, when you think about it, has seen a lot of play going into the season with plenty of decks, whether it's mage. I've used it in some priest decks in the past. Janet Barav has definitely been that card that's seen a lot of play. But you also got Plagiarize. Shadow Jeweler Hanar is an interesting one because unless the deck is completely like full of secrets and spells, Hanar doesn't see a whole lot of play normally in these kinds of rose decks.
Yeah, it's a little interesting. There are some secrets here: double ambush,
Yep.
double dirty tricks, and then the one plagiarize. There is a possibility to find mage secrets as well off of Wand Thief, so there's a little bit more synergy there. But yeah, Shadow Driller Hanar is probably going to be used a little bit later for that big swing turn when you can play multiple secrets and kind of go off with it. So it's definitely still been used. I don't know if Secret is the most popular. I think Stealth and the kind of Stealth aggro decks are the most popular right now, but Secret has kind of been on the rise a little bit.
Yeah, well, it was going to be interesting to see how this plays out this week for Fanboy. Now, the Druid seems to be one of the more popular Druid classes to come out with since Scotland's Academy, and that is the Guardian Animals Druid. Two key cards to watch with that one. Number one, the aforementioned Guardian Animals. And then number two, the always popular exotic mount seller, especially with the fact that you have cards like Bog Beam, Ironbark, Innervate, Lightning Bloom, as well as Wild Growth, which if you get to the 10 decks, the 10 mana already, you have a zero cost spell that allows you to draw a card. So you're going to be able to, if played correctly, you're going to be able to fill that board real quickly.
Yeah, and one thing I want to mention too, this list is running double animated broomstick. So really can get a lot of rush potential with the Ysera portals, all of the minions from the Mount Seller. And this list in particular that we see on screen is also fairly anti-aggro, I would say. The broomsticks can help pulling the animals from, or the guardian animals can cause rush. There's one crystal power, but double iron bark is kind of anti-aggro too, just making big taunts that aggro can't get through. The Ghidra can sweep up, and double Lake Thresher in this list instead of, some lists are only running 2 Twilight Runners, 2 Teacher's Pet, or maybe 1 Lake Thresher, but this list is running 2 Lake Threshers.
You also got Ysera Unleashed and Survival of the Fittest in there. Ysera has been a popular mainstay since Descent of Dragons came out. And especially in these kind of Druid decks where you might be running low on cards, or you might need some way to fill a board and draw some cards. Boom. You got Dragons Galore on your deck. And Survival of the Fittest has been an interesting selection for a couple of Druid decks this season so far. It's interesting because it's either there or it's not. It depends on what kind of druid you're running. A lot of, especially on the Grandmasters Tour, they think, you know what, I'm going to put this in my deck for this round. And then next week, they're like, you know what, I'm just going to take it out and try something else. It's either or. It's hit and miss.
Yeah, it really is. And I think also after the latest Kalthos nerf as well,
Yeah.
people have been kind of removing it some. And we've seen people like this list kind of putting one back in. But let's talk about, this is a Highlander priest.
Oh, my
and
favorite.
Again, yeah, priest is another one that kind of has a couple different variations. So
Yes.
the Highlander priest, pretty interesting. Again, only one copy of everything, but it does allow people to put in tools like this Plague of Death that we see. It's running the Wretched Tutor as well, so can be a little bit of anti-aggro synergies there. And we're still seeing this Mindrender Elusa, even though it was nerfed from 2 mana to 3, but pretty good fit in the Highlander.
Yep, you also got Madame Lazul, Mind Flayer Garage. I'm not gonna, if I botched that card, I apologize. But you also got the Galakron mix in there, especially with Kronks and Galakron the Unspeakable. Now, there's not really a whole lot of ways to invoke Galakrond with this deck, but given that Galakrond can be used to, knock out a random enemy, you also got Kronks that could be a game changer in there. This deck normally wouldn't be a Galakrond deck. However, it's no harm, no foul keeping Galakrond in this one.
Yeah, no, it can get a lot of value. Even just removing one minion can remove some value, but getting that hero power online in some of the matchups is really what that Galakrond is for.
Yep, and actually going through the deck again, we do have a Disciple of Galakrond here. So you do have, you just got the one to boost up.
Time Rip as well.
Yeah, Time Rip as well. So you do have some options to kind of boost it up there, but not a whole lot in terms of invoking. And finally, we have the I really hope this is not a Turtle Mage deck because we've been seeing a lot of those in pro play so far. But you look at cards again, Janice Barab making another appearance in this one. Ras Frost Whisper, which with the spell damage and everything, that is going to be the card to watch if we see Mage come into play here.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, this doesn't look like the Turtle Mage list. It looks more like the tempo kind of small spell mage, as HS Replay calls it. But the double Mana Cyclones in there, double Sorcerer's Apprentice can get a ton of value. And I want to mention, I really like the inclusion of this one Devolving Missiles that's in this list as well.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to switch over to the other deck lists here in just a moment, but that Devolving Missiles, if Mage doesn't get banned, that Missiles might really come in handy.
Yeah, also keep an eye out for Shenvala there. Really, one of the four legendaries. I'm sorry, 5. You also got Evocation up there. With all the spells, all the one cost spells, you might be able to fill your board up real quickly with when you got Shenvala. But it depends on the situation. Depends on how early you play it. Do you risk putting them in early and threatening to get knocked out early? Or do you wait, hold on to it, and test your luck? But that's what Fanboy's bringing to the table. Let's go ahead and take a look at what GermanShep is going to be countering with this time around. And as you can see here, Rogue is all gray because it got banned. So Fanboy kind of taking a look at the Rogue here, similar to the Rogue that Fanboy would bring it in. So he just thought, it might be best just to ban it. But GermanShep comes in with Priest, Warrior, and Druid here. Let's start off with the Priest, another variant, not a Highlander one, but this one seems to be more Galakrond based. So looks like an improved Galakrond Priest compared to what we saw with Fanboy.
Yeah, a lot of removal, a lot of control tools in this list. Also, the one Swamp Ooze there for some weapon removal. But yeah, much more consistent list, I'd say. Generally, the Highlander list can be a little bit inconsistent sometimes, but a lot of doubles here, a lot of 2-ofs, and yeah, just a lot of control tools with even the Wild Pyro being combined with things like the Apotheosis or Wave of Apathy, and some of those smaller spells can really change the game board there, and that might be pretty useful against Fanboy's Druid.
Yeah, especially Apotheosis. I've been seeing a lot of play, especially with Scottlemans coming out and everything like that. Switching over to Warrior now. Like you said, going into the stream, Bomb Warrior has been seeing a bit of a resurgence in play here. However, there's one thing missing from this deck. Where the heck is the Wrenchmancer? Like where's the bomb weapon at? Come on.
That's because this is like the Enrage Egg Warrior, and I love it.
Oh,
I'm
no.
so excited for this. And 2 Shield of Honors. Shield of Honor is like my favorite card from the new set. So I'm so happy that people are using it. This is pretty interesting. This is kind of fallen out of favor a little bit. Like you mentioned, that Bomb Warrior has really kind of been popular, and I think people are really starting to bring this a bit more in tournaments. it doesn't seem as solid on ladder, but in a tournament setting where you can kind of sculpt what you're bringing and you have the ban option in there, this list seems pretty neat to bring. So I'm excited to see this warrior being brought.
You did bring up Shield of Honor and everything like that. One card to keep in mind with that, you got Grommash there at the bottom. And we all know what Grommash can do when it gets damaged. So you damage him, you get Shield of Honor in that bad boy. Fanboy is going to be in one heap of trouble there, provided GermanShep can pull that off. Like we said earlier, Rogue got banned, so we're going to switch over now to Druid. And this is it's just similar to what Fanboy had here. It's the Guardian Animals. You got Ysera. Two cards to keep an eye on, though. You also got Alexstrasza and Malygos in there as well. So with Malygos, you're able to add a little spell damage here, especially with with cards like Crystal Power, Moonfire, Swipe. And you also got your Overgrowth, Germination. You also got one Germination in there, so that could add a little board presence here when it comes to this deck, especially with Speaker Ghidra coming in place. So, anything else I'm missing about this deck, Dragon?
Yeah, there's a couple Anubisath defenders as well. But yep, pretty standard Malygos list, I would say. The big things we're going to be looking for, especially in some of the slower matchups, is going to be possibly a Forest Warden Omu plus that Germination big swing turn into a Malygos and spells, or possibly a Malygos. You'd have to do something like Malygos and some of the Lightning Bloom, Innervate kind of combinations, and get a Germination out on the Malygos for some extra big burst damage. But those are going to be some potential big swing turns that we could see coming out of this Malygos Druid.
Yep. So once again for GermanShep, he's going to be rolling in with Priest, Warrior, and Druid. Fanboy's going to be rolling in I'm sorry, Fanboy is going to be rolling in with Priest, Druid, Mage, and Rogue. Still waiting to hear what GermanShep banned for Fanboy. So really, are there any matchups that I just mentioned that you are looking forward to see in this game?
I want to see this warrior. I'm looking forward to seeing this egg warrior take something down.
I will say this: I would like to see warrior versus that mage that Fanboy brought, because we all know spell damage. It's basically set up for it. So that could do it. That's going to be a very interesting matchup down the line. But also the priest, the mirror priest battle, if that is the case, could be a very interesting one as well, because we got the Highlander priest for Fanboy, and the regular Galakron priest for GermanShep here.
Yeah, I really like that these players brought different variations of each of the decks. So even though kind of looking at just the class, it seems like we might be seeing mirror matches with like Druid into Druid or the Priest into Priest, but they are different variations. So those matchups are going to feel very different than just a straight up mirror. So those are going to be pretty sweet.
We are currently awaiting for GermanShep and Fanboy to get their match going. We are still also waiting to hear what GermanShep has banned. We know Rogue has been banned for GermanShep from Fanboy's side. And we have also just found out that GermanShep has banned Fanboy's Druid. So no Druid mirror match, but we do get our wish. We will see this Egg Warrior, and we will also see Fanboy's Mage come into play. So if you're both character, Dragon, what are you gonna start off with? Because if I'm Fanboy, I want to start off with the Rogue, because I really think the Rogue would be an interesting startup. And if I'm GermanShep, I wouldn't not want to start with the Warrior. I would want to start more with like the Druid, I think. Keep that Warrior hidden away for a bit.
That might be the case because then GermanShep wants to come in at the end and finish the series in a sweet takedown with this warrior. Maybe that's not how it goes, but that's what I want to see. I want to see it end with that cool warrior. Just maybe, like I said, maybe a big Gromosh swing turn and just close it out with a big Gromosh to the face. That would be a fun ending, I think, to the series.
Absolutely. It is going to be interesting to see, especially, like you said, this Egg Warrior, we've been talking about it a lot. It's different. You're not used to seeing, especially in tournament play, you're not used to seeing an Egg Warrior now because Bomb Warrior has been taken all over. So the fact that GermanShep is bringing something new to the table, Fanboy has got to be thinking, okay, how am I going to be able to deal with this, given that it's not your standard, Temple Warrior, your Bomb Warrior, like we've seen in play here.
Right. And there could be that these players have gotten a chance to actually test against these decks, because the decks are public kind of during the beginning of the Aspirant week, which starts on Wednesday. So they have had a few days to potentially do some testing with or versus these decks. So hopefully they got a chance to actually do that, and that'll help them out a little bit. But yeah, this is not a deck that we're really used to seeing on ladder. So when that happens, the chance to actually test against the exact deck can make a huge difference in how well the players know the matchup.
Yep, we are still waiting to see. We're still waiting to hear on when their match is going to be starting here. The bans are in again. GermanShep's Rogue has been banned, and Fanboy's Druid has been banned. Still waiting to hear on what's going on. What's taking so long? Last we heard, they were playing on the ladder. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break here as we try to figure everything out here. We do want to remind you guys before we take our break, to stay up to date with anything going on with Aspirant, whether it's the Hearthstone series, VML, any announcements that we have going on, make sure you follow us on Twitter at Aspirant CCG, and also follow us on Twitch as well. All right, make sure you follow us and make sure you have the notifications up for whether it's the VML League, the Magic League that's going to be starting up soon. More on them later in the broadcast, or Hearthstone, or really any event that we have being streamed. So you guys can tune in and watch ahead of time. So with that being said, we're going to take a quick break. And with that being said, we're not going to be taking a break. The producer's yelling in my ears like, wait, hold on, don't go. So we're getting everything finalized here. Again, start off week 1, biggest season here, season 5, 45 competitors, 9 weeks. And we got Fanboy, the defending champ, looking to start off with a win against his opponent from last season's Grand Championship in GermanShep. So before we get into this match, what I like to do is give a little prediction here and there. Dragon Rider, who do you got taking this one? We're going to start with you.
Ooh, all right. On the hot seat. Looking
no
at
pressure.
Lists, yeah, no pressure. I'm just all about this warrior deck. I'm gonna say GermanShep. I'm going in on the Egg Warrior.
I think it's really gonna be a back and forth battle. I really think that we're gonna see. I think it's gonna be Fanboy getting the win here, but I would not be surprised if GermanShep makes things interesting. As we get going here, it's gonna be Mage versus Druid. Fanboy bringing in the Mage, GermanShep bringing the Druid here in Game 1 of this championship, Season 4 championship rematch here. GermanShep was the interesting start. You got Overflow, Twilight Runner, and Anubis as Defender. Not really the best hand to start off with. I think that'd be definitely one they would mulligan, and indeed they do. And a bit of a better one. Meanwhile, Fanboy's in an interesting position because you got the devolving missiles, which he keeps.
Yeah.
Transcession, Mana Giant, and now Sorcerer's Apprentice. That is going to be interesting.
That's evolving missiles could be pretty good against some of those stealths like the Twilight Runners to deny GermanShep some draw.
As
Or
well as
some of the big minions later.
Yeah, or the Anubis defenders as well. As Fanboy skips his turn, can't really do anything. GermanShep with 2 innervates right off the get-go and an overgrowth as well. So the question is, do you hang on to all of that, or do you go for the innervates and go with the overgrowth to kind of get a head start on the mana, but instead they just go with the shapeshift, doing 1 damage to Fanboy.
Yeah, I think without something else in the hand to kind of ramp into, going all in on double innervate into the ramp here just feels a little like you're leaving your hand a little dead. So I like the choice to just hero power there.
Cramp Session comes in here, draws 1 card. Teacher's Pet gets drawn for GermanShep here. Keep an eye on that Shambhala. I brought it up during the breakdown of the mage, and it's now in hand. So the devolving missiles and the coin in play, we might see some interesting stuff here. But now we see the innervate into the overgrowth, putting GermanShep now with 5 mana instead of 3.
We're Wand Thieves. Might just see some small stuff come down here from Fanboy.
That would be the smart play. We see Violet Spellwing, and I'm going to assume that both Wand Thieves come into play. Ooh. Puzzle box. Gotta go to the puzzle box.
Chat wants to see puzzle box.
Everyone wants to see puzzle box, but evocation also, depending on when you get it, could be or when you use it, could be a very interesting card there as well. But I gotta go to the puzzle box with this one because you got another. Oh, there goes the evocation. Okay, never mind.
I think evocation kind of fits into the game plan a little bit better here, especially so early in the game. But box is fun. Is it a second evo?
If I'm Fanboy, I would kind of think on the another evo. Okay, well, but why are we here then? It doesn't even matter. So now for GermanShep, an interesting position here. They're gonna go the innervate. They're gonna go the guardian animals, and then you also got the Anubis defenders. So you got a Teacher's Pet and a Twilight Runner, which is gonna be huge. Because now with the Twilight Runner, you'll be able to refill your hand just a little bit. Draw 2 cards. You got Alex Straza and a Crystal Power there. And then they'll play at least 1, if not both, of the Anubis defenders.
I don't mind playing both just to add a lot more health onto the board, play around a few of the spells and come out from mage, but just playing 1 is probably fine too.
I would say just 1 because you had the Teacher's Pet in play, and while it doesn't hurt, like you said, to have more health, more protection there, you already have 1 taunt in play. You also have the Twilight Runner, which is not going to get hit for a while. And now we see Shambhala come into play for Fanboy. We see the coin. And we're going to see a heap of trouble here. We got Sorcerer's Apprentice come into play. Magic Trick with the Ray of Frost.
Yeah.
Devolving Missile comes in.
Oh.
Oof. We see a 5/5 Elemental come into play. If Fanboy wanted to, he could play it again, but I don't think that's gonna necessarily work. So instead, he's gonna freeze two minions there, the 5/7 and one of the Anubis defenders, and then he does play evocation. Oh my goodness!
He's just going all in on this.
You got another devolving missile there to keep in. Oh no, they go with the.
Oh my gosh!
We go with the brain freeze.
Power that we were kind of talking about earlier, though, with the with that.
What is going on? Ooh.
I mean, he has just been playing cards every single second, basically since the turn started. just spitting things out onto the board, adding things to hand, just playing spells. Like this is what this deck does sometimes. But
now look at Fanboy's hand. Now you got the Mana Giant, another evocation, and the Violet Warden. The Violet Warden for 5 mana. Holy crap! And look at the freaking board. GermanShep is probably thinking, "What in the sweet hell just happened?"
Yeah, I mean, this hand from GermanShep just really does not do much here. I mean, there is a little bit of added spell damage on the board for GermanShep, so Crystal Power can do slightly more, but it's not doing much on this board, really. Maybe take out the Sorcerer's Apprentice to try to stall some spells next turn, but
even that, you still got the O2 Mirror's Image in play.
And I mean, a bunch of 5/5s that are about to start smacking GermanShep in the face.
So we're gonna see one taunt come into play, and they're just gonna hold the Crystal Power for now and take out that that Mirror's Image. You know, not really what GermanShep wanted to do, but at this point, what could you do? Doing everything, and oh my goodness, another Mana Giant. Oh my goodness. And another evocation comes into play. The Fanboy know that his board is full. I don't think it's gonna work.
We saw the well played come out from GermanShep, just like, well, 2 generated 0 cost evocations. Like
this is going to hurt. We see devolving missiles now.
Yep. And yeah, I talked about the devolving missiles kind of when we were going over those deck lists. I mean, the Druid is just such a good target for those devolving missiles. So
and now Arcane Missile comes in, and guess what? You filled your board again. Congratulations! And now you have another spot on the board. Font of Power. You're only going to be able to keep one of those. Now we see Arcane Breath. So basically a massive board clear. And for Fanboy against GermanShep, but a massive board fill again for Fanboy. 5/5s and 8/8 Mana Giant there. GermanShep is in major trouble.
Yeah. It's swipe. Yep, doesn't do much.
Nope.
GermanShep just throwing in the towel there, saying, "Yeah, you've done enough. I can't do anything on this board."
That mage popped off, like just popped absolute off. No one expected that. Not. I mean, we talked about how powerful that was. I didn't think it'd be that powerful.
Yeah, well, yeah, we didn't talk about the potential of a complete board of 5/5 elementals on what, turn 4 or 5? That was that was very fast. I don't think that's a typical game that we'd see. Potential's there, clearly, but that's common.
Yeah, so great job by Fanboy going up 1-0. In all honesty, it looked like GermanShep had the good idea, using the Innovate, using an Overgrowth, getting ahead on the mana count. And then we saw Shivala come into play, and then a coin, and then Sorcerer's Apprentice, and it just went downhill from there for GermanShep.
Yes, and then we just saw a million spells.
If the 5/7 with spell damage was still in play for GermanShep, that swipe would have definitely been useful. An easy board clear, 5 damage, but Fanboy was smart, knocked out that monster, and as a result, got the quick, really just a fast win here with the mage to go up 1-0 in this series.
Yeah, absolutely. So Fanboy now has the Rogue and the Priest, and then GermanShep can still play any of the decks because we are playing Conquest in Aspirant. So Fanboy now out with the mage, but Rogue and Priest left. What do you expect to kind of see next from these players?
For Fanboy, I would say probably go with the Priest. It just, it's your Highlander Priest. You have some buffs with Galakron, like to invocate and everything, but you also have, the Elucia, you have the Apotheosis, you have Soulmere and Murazan. It wouldn't hurt Fanboy is thinking Fanboy is thinking that GermanShep's gonna bring the Druid back in, then go with the Priest. But if GermanShep is thinking if GermanShep he's thinking one of two things. Go back with the Druid, try it again, and try to tie it up, or go with either Priest or Warrior, something I know you want to see, Dragon. You really want to see that Warrior. If I'm GermanShep, I go with the Priest as well. So we might see a Priest mirror match here.
Ooh. All right, that would be interesting.
I mean, the Rogue can also... if I'm GermanShep, I wouldn't put the Warrior out there just yet. It doesn't make sense to put it out there because if you get the win, then you can't use it anymore. It might be best to save it until the end if it gets to a game 4 or 5 where GermanShep can use it. As we get ready to go for game 2 here, we do see the Warrior. Dragon Rider is happy on this one. We see Warrior for GermanShep, Rogue for Fanboy, and we did bring up Jandis Barav for Rogue. Really one of those dual class combos, works great for Mage and for Rogue, but Barav goes back to the deck. Fanboy Mulligander. Got a nice little return with Backstab, but for GermanShep, you got Shield of Honor, Armor Smith, and Lord Barav. If I'm GermanShep, I would mulligan the Barav. It's not really necessary at this point in time.
Yeah, I think the Barav you like more against a stealth rogue. I'm not sure how well it's going to do, especially at the beginning here against a secret rogue.
Yeah. But instead, GermanShep decides to replace all 3. He has another Armor Smith, a Blood Boil Brute, and a Battle Rage. And GermanShep draws a Serpent's Egg, goes first. Fanboy draws a Shadow Step, and will play the Spy Mistress. Get a little bit of board presence there. Just a standard play for Rogue. Meanwhile, Serpent's Egg comes into play for GermanShep here.
Yeah,
now,
I wonder if GermanShep is really hoping to draw into something to be able to copy this, or maybe a Shield of Honor, just to really kind of make this stick a little bit.
Fanboy doesn't really have a whole lot to do this time around, and we do see the Spy Mistress go after the egg. Not really what you would want to do, because now you got a 3/4 on the board for GermanShep.
Is there any merit to killing this 3/1 without a trade?
What now?
Not really, just because this. You look at here's the thing though. You look at the hands. Fanboy. The only minion they got is Shadow Jeweler Hanar, and Secret Passage, I believe, is a secret as well. So you could do something with that, but you're not going to be able to do a heck of a whole lot. And GermanShep, the best play or the safe play would be either the Armor Smith, and then attack the Spy Mistress. Get that damage, and then Inner Rage as well, or just Hero Power and go with the shield. I don't think you necessarily need to trade off.
I mean, he could just use the Inner Rage on the Spy Mistress if he really wants to. Keep the board here. There's not any copies at all of Sap being run in Fanboy's Rogue.
That's going to be interesting. And as we see, the Battle Rage, or the Inner Rage, does come into play here to knock out the Spy Mistress. So
Yeah, I like it. I think it forces Fanboy to come up with different answers to deal with GermanShep's board, and really kind of allows GermanShep to get on board with this Korkron next turn if he really wants to, and kind of just start smacking Fanboy in the face.
Add a little bit of pressure there
Yeah.
with this warrior, as we might be seeing, and we do indeed see Shell Jeweler Hanar come into play. We see a preparation. We do have two spells, or two secrets, excuse me, and we get Redemption, Explosive Trap, and Spellbender. The safe play would be Explosive Trap because it means you're doing damage to your opponent. But when you also got Redemption, that's a smart play as well.
I think that allows him to keep chaining the secrets, which is kind of what he wants to do. We talked about that a little bit earlier as well, trying to get as much secret potential with the Hanar as possible.
And we got another win portal with the second selection, and we will see Shadow Step come in and get that Hanar out. Try again next turn.
Oh, another Inner Rage.
Now, if you're GermanShep, we brought up the Korkron Elite. Do you go with the Inner Rage to the Serpent and just hit that 1-2 punch, or you just go with Korkron Elite and just do the 7 damage? I don't think there's really a wrong pick with this one, given what we're seeing with Fanboy's deck at the moment.
Yeah. I wonder if he wants to try to test for that secret. You know, there's two secrets out.
One of them was Plagiarize.
Right, and then
Redemption was the other one.
Yeah. Okay, so it's not Noble Sacrifice. Yeah, not going to play the Inner Rage.
And really, that could have been a whole lot worse. I think GermanShep kind of realized that one of them was a Plagiarize, looking at the deck. But we see Shadow Jeweler Hanar again. We see the Mage Secret. Eye for an Eye, Bamboozle, and Misdirection. Ooh. Eye for an Eye or Misdirection would be the play to go with. Bamboozle, I don't think it wasn't necessarily the right pick with that one. We see a coin come in. We'll see Misdirection come in. Add another secret. And now we got Noble Sacrifice, Dirty Tricks. And then the Mage one I cannot see. We got the Backstab. And they're just going to... Fanboy's going to attack the Korkron Elite. Get that out of there. GermanShep comes in with another Blood Boil Brute. And really, the tempo is all on GermanShep's side with what has been done so far.
Yeah. It's just a matter of figuring out the best way to try to play around these secrets, because this second Brute coming into hand, and there's not really a board state to discount these enough to be played. So this is kind of awkward. I guess the only chance is if GermanShep just trades into the Hanar with the Serpent, and then they're both damaged, and then play a Brute for 5, But
you got to be careful also with the Netherwind Portal, because the second that GermanShep casts a spell, that secret's going off, and now you could potentially put a taunt minion out into play here. So,
yeah.
And I think we're just going to see a bit of a trade for damage here as the Serpent takes on Hanar. Hanar is still alive, and we see Blood Boil Brute finally come in and take out the Hanar, which goes in for Redemption. So Hanar is still in play, and guess what? You have two secrets in hand, and a wand combo, a wand thief as well.
Yeah, so there's only this one secret to play here. Misdirection is already out on the board, so I highly doubt he's going to take the Misdirection again.
Spellbender would be an interesting one, especially with the Inner Rage,
Yeah.
That could be one that could definitely benefit Fanboy down the line.
I actually do wonder, I think if GermanShep had made the plays last turn just slightly faster and saw that Hanar come back as a 1/1, I think he roped and just didn't have enough time, but there could have been consideration for using the second Enrage to just take out that Hanar, because these secrets are just going to be such a pain for GermanShep to deal with.
We see Pressure Plate, Ice Barrier, and Eye for an Eye. Oh yeah, guess what? Fanboy got a puzzle box. Hot damn. Everyone's happy now. Puzzle box for the win. Meanwhile, back to the game. Ice Barrier is selected this go around. Spy Mistress comes into play, and Hanar just attacks face for the first damage against this Egg Warrior.
This hand does not feel like it's doing a whole lot for GermanShep right now. I wonder if he's... I mean, playing a secret is... Or playing around those secrets and playing a spell here for GermanShep might feel a little bad, but I think he has to start with one of these Battle Rages and try to see what else he can put together in this hand here.
If I'm GermanShep, what I would try to do, get rid of Hanar, get rid of the Wand Thief, or play the other Blood Boil Brute, damage, and then Battle Rage. Because look, play this. No matter what, you're gonna be triggering the secret either way. There's no way you're not gonna be able to get around it.
Yeah.
But if I'd rather trigger it with just one minion on Fanboy's side than 4.
Yeah.
And I think that's what GermanShep is kind of realizing here. He's realizing that there's no way going around that mage secret. Noble Sacrifice comes into play.
These animations taking a little while too. That's definitely gonna put a hindrance here on GermanShep's turn.
And Bamboozle turns into a Dr. Krasinov. Oh no. Oh boy. Oh. Oh, that is not what you want to see. And now Misdirection comes in. Where's it going? It's gonna take out the Spy Mistress. So Spy Mistress goes away, and we're at even board now. But that Dr. Krasinov, wow. The tempo just kind of a little shift. Still in GermanShep's favor at the moment with the health, but the hand just wasn't there.
Yeah. So no more Hanar for Fanboy to still play off of with these secrets. Does he start with the secret passage?
I think it might be better off to start with the Ice Barrier because you're already at 13 health.
Good. That just takes half the mana for the turn already, though.
That's true. We see a Blackjack Stunner, a Jandis Barov, Ambush, and another Wand Thief in play. Ooh.
Pyroblast.
But they offer another wind portal there. A Pharaoh Cat. And a Blackjack Stunner. Get that Serpent out of there. Would you want to go with the Serpent or the Blood Boil Brute?
I don't think he wants to give GermanShep the rush potential there with the Brutes. The Serpent doesn't feel great just playing it as a 3/4. Kind of like it because it comes out of the egg, but just as a 3/4 from hand feels pretty bad.
And now we got Lord Barov gets drawn for GermanShep. And you got the Warmaul fighter, the 3-cost there. You got the Risky Skipper in play as well. Risky Skipper could definitely be an option here. Risky Skipper, Armor Smith, and then how do you go about this with your GermanShep? You got a lot of options here.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot going on here. Still doesn't have risky skippers or anything though, like you mentioned, but
no, they got the one.
Oh, they have the one. Yeah.
Yeah, they got the one, and then the Warmaul Challenger. I think the safe bet would be Risky Skipper, Armor Smith. Oh, we see Sea Serpent instead.
Self ambush.
So the Live Wire Lance is going to have 3 durability now, but it is still kind of a bit of a wasted turn because you had Risky Skipper in there. You want to try and get some board presence on there. And now you have a 2/3 poison creature on deck. Maybe GermanShep is thinking that next turn would be a more viable option, but you now just lost your sea monster there. And you are wide open for damage. Albeit not a whole lot of damage.
Yeah.
But still damage nonetheless.
Still is, but he could go, especially drawing the second Armorsmith. I was going to say maybe this turn is just kind of a big Skipper Armorsmith turn. There is the potential for the Barov in there as well. But yeah, I really don't mind a Skipper Armorsmith big turn here. Just try to clear the board, gain a bunch of armor, and the armor basically just negates that little bit of damage that was pushed through last turn.
I think Skipper and the double Armorsmith is really just the only way he could go. I don't think Lord Barov needs to get out there yet.
Yeah.
I think you could definitely save that for a later turn. But when you think about it, you have the you're gonna, if I could talk, it'd be great. You're gonna get a good bit of a board clear here. You're gonna have the Reborn in play. Oh wait, you also got a Livewire Lance as well, but you're only gonna able to play 1 minions or 1 lackey. So
Yeah.
I think we'll see Risky Skipper and the double Armorsmith here. And that is indeed what we see. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah. Just gonna use the
Bloodthorn Mercenary. Holy crap. That's
Whew.
wow.
GermanShep.
Gramash also. Oh no. Gramash and Shield of Honor. Oh, GermanShep. They are in prime position. They're able to get this off.
The hand is built though for GermanShep, so gonna overdraw next turn, but yeah, get some of those important pieces. Ooh.
Oof. Yeah, Mortuary Machine and Teacher's Pet for Janice Barov. I didn't see what was picked. I think the safe bet would have gone with the with the 8/8 just because you already have a taunt. There's no point in doing damage to it.
That's true. The only downside is with the Skipper, unless he's going to clear the Skipper here, the Skipper plus a minion just destroys whatever one, minion's going to die as soon as it takes 1 damage, so kind of have to clear that Skipper here.
And the Skipper does get cleared, and oh no, the other Shield of Honor goes away. 10 card doesn't do it.
All right.
So now, before Janice Barov came into play, we were saying go as with the other Risky Skipper and Gramash, but now I wouldn't even bother trying to test that because there's a potential you still got the 8/8 in play. You're gonna have to do something to get rid of that. You do have the Inner Rage though, so Risky Skipper isn't necessarily in play for this one. So what you could do,
He's just gonna test first. I think he's doing that because if that taunt is the one that would die, he could go for the Grommash there, but that changes if it's not.
Yeah, the taunt does not die. But that 8/8 will die as soon as the Armorsmith comes into play. Gets rid of a big threat there. 21 armor for GermanShep. Takes out the Teacher's Pet.
Gosh.
A 3/2 Messenger Raven. And you also got the Risky Skipper and the Armorsmith with Reborn.
Mm.
I had said earlier that the tempo kind of shifted, still in GermanShep's favor. Well, guess what? GermanShep just grabbed it, said, "No, it's mine. It's hanging over here." As we see an Eternal Lecky come into play here, backstab, coerce, and betrayal.
Backstab not great against warrior. That's doing damage to all of its minions.
But betrayal could be it, depending on what card's in. But instead, we see coerce come into play here.
The reborn on these minions is actually pretty significant here. It might not seem like it, but this is really awkward now for Fanboy to have to deal with. He has to put a lot more trades and hits into it than I think he would want to.
We get another round.
Ooh. That's pretty nice.
That's really nice. You got a spell burst there. Oh, my lordy.
This is just a game here, though, isn't it? I think Gromosh here just closes out the game.
Gromosh, Inner Rage, and just because they can, get the Shield of Honor in there.
Yeah. I think. Are there any secrets left up on Fanboy side?
I don't believe so. Oh, no, there is. Oh, no, it's Ice Barrier.
Okay. I was going to say, I
just
think
one.
there was still one secret, but I couldn't remember. It's a little hard to see with the hand there, but... Okay, so I like the way that GermanShep has kind of tested the waters every turn here, though, kind of making the one small play to decide what he wants to do with the rest of his turn.
And now they're kind of thinking, what can he do? Do you want to end it or get close to ending it? Or do you want to kind of delay it and see what Fanboy has to offer? Because really, Fanboy has another Wind Portal, Secret Passage, Coerce, and then our favorite, the Puzzle Box of Yaxaran.
Yes.
And now we see Warmaul Challenger coming into play, knocks out the Raven. We see Captain Greenskin now add a little boost. Titan Lackey come in, get a taunt, get some extra help in that regard. And now we see Edwin Van Cleef come in for Fanboy. And you got some options here. You're hanging on by a thread. You can play as many cards as possible to get a pretty busted or pretty buffed Edwin there. But at the same time, you also don't realize that Gromosh is still a threat in GermanShep's hand. So looks like they're gonna go with a Mage Secret here, a backstab to the High Abyss, and we see Coerce. Edwin Van Cleef for 6/6. I think they might mess that one up because he had a Secret Passage. Oh no, I'm sorry, I was wrong. Secret Passage would not have worked with that one here.
But this is going to be enough damage here now. Shouldn't be any secrets left for Fanboy. And yeah, the Gromosh, Inner Rage, Shield of Honor should be enough to close it out.
Well, you do got another one Portal in play, so it would depend. It would really depend on what kind of minion comes in. Because if it's a taunt minion, it's gonna derail it for a turn. But if it's not, if GG's, we have a tie game.
What now?
GermanShep really don't think like they're in any hurry to end this. We got Cutting Class, Blaze Storm, and Athletic Studies.
I think from GermanShep's perspective, the possibility of that Mage Secret being vaporized is really holding him back from playing that Gromosh, because that just kind of seals the deal on that Gromosh. So I like him trying to find another route here and just kind of, like you mentioned, got a lot of armor, not in, a hurry to finish the game right this second. So.
And now you've got a preparation.
Puzzle
and
box.
Just because we get the puzzle box, baby.
Let's go.
Let's see what we get. Drain life. Get some health. Rising winds. Draw the questing adventure. Nag Grand Slam. Oh boy.
Taking out the 1/1s.
Savagery. Did nothing. Philosophy. Spectral Sight. Got a dirty tricks. Hammer of Wrath. Attacks a 1/1. Power of Creation.
Oh,
Call
one.
to Adventure. And that is it. So, Fanboy, for the first time in this game, has a full board, but it doesn't matter. They're realizing that it's not going to matter in the end. GermanShep with the Egg Warrior ties up the series 1-1.
Love it.
Holy crap. We talked about Fanboy's Mage being something. GermanShep's Warrior. We talked about it a lot. And it just worked out.
It's so weird though. It worked out, but we talked about Egg Warrior. That did not look like Egg Warrior. But like it looked like a control stall warrior almost, because that game just went so long. And I mean, GermanShep didn't find a lot of those aggressive tools real early, it felt like, and he kind of used some of those early tools, like that very first Inner Rage, as a defensive tool. So
and being able to use that really kind of helped them set up, it felt like, because once you got the Ritzy Skipper in there and the 2 armor smiths, you were going to be able to bolster up and just feel you were getting more and more comfortable as the game went along. Now for Fanboy, it didn't necessarily really help once you got Shadow Jeweler Hanarin got knocked out. Because you were able to play secrets. You were able to get, more secrets here and there. The double Netherwind portals, the misdirection, the ice barrier. But in the end, it just didn't really help him in the end, because GermanShep was able to, like you said, it felt more like a control stall deck. They were able to stall, play some smaller creatures, especially when the live wire lances came out. Because you had all those lackeys. You were able to, kind of twist some things around there and put it to your advantage. But to say that this was all GermanShep in this game is a big understatement, because GermanShep just had the keys and just took off running.
Yeah, absolutely. So finds a win with the Warrior, ties it 1-1. Fanboy with the Rogue and the Priest, and then GermanShep with Priest and Druid.
We saw Druid in the first game, right, and it really wasn't a bad matchup against that Mage. So if I'm GermanShep, do you go back to the Druid or do you go with the Priest? I think you should go with the Priest.
I think I agree. Yeah,
I think the Priest, because Fanboy knows what the Druid is all about. They don't know what the Priest is all about. And if the Priest is anything like this Warrior that we just saw, we might be seeing a 2-1 lead here for GermanShep down the line. But again, it just all depends. Now, if you're a Fanboy, you got the Highlander Priest on you, but you also got that Rogue. That Rogue is looking very interesting. And if I'm Fanboy, I would definitely consider throwing that out there to try to get the 2-1 lead.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I am curious to see what they queue up with here. Hopefully, we'll be getting into that next game in any time now. Yeah, these are going to be some interesting. Do you think we're going to see a Priest Smear?
I really think we might see a Priest Smear here. But let's see what we got. Nope. We get Fanboy with the Priest. I'm sorry, Fanboy with the Rogue and GermanShep with the Priest. So we got one right. GermanShep, like we said, they brought the Druid in game 1, didn't bring in the Priest. So now GermanShep's looking to kind of surprise them with the Priest here. Fanboy, meanwhile, you got Preparation, Dirty Tricks, Feral Cat, and Edwin Van Cleef to start off. GermanShep, the 2 Renews, and a Cabal Acolyte. Cabal Acolyte it has been a nice addition with Scalaman's Academy. but you really got to be careful when you use it, because if you're taking on an aggro deck, it's great. If not, you gotta find some way to use it. But now you got Cleric of Scales, Disciple of Galakron, and Cobalt Spellkin. GermanShep going with turn 1. You use either Cleric of Scales, and it looks like that's what we're going to be. No, we're going to see Disciple of Galakron here.
Finds a Sethic Veil Weaver.
That's actually going to be.
Yeah.
That's actually a good pick right there.
Yeah, it is.
Fanboy, meanwhile, drops a Pharaoh Cat, gets the Ancestral Guardian in return. Meanwhile, GermanShep brings out the Acidic Swamp Ooze into their hand. This might be where we see Cleric of Scales now, just because you got the dragon and everything. You could definitely play it. Add some spells to your hand. I don't think there's really any reason to play a Sethic Veilweaver yet, because the only spell you guys renew, which is really not needed at this point in time.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's alright to just play it for tempo, but against a rogue deck that's not running more weapons than really just the hero power, if you're going to go for tempo, I kind of like the Ooze.
And the Ooze is what we see as GermanShep brings out the Ooze here. Get a little bit more board presence. We see Preparation, the Rogue Secret, and Edwin Van Cleef. What Fanboy also could have done is, instead of the Van Cleef, start off with the Questing Warrior. I obviously coin in Questing Warrior, and then Preparation, and then the Secret to kind of boost up that Adventurer to get a little bit of tempo back. But now GermanShep gets another Disciple of Galakron. And now we got Raised Dead, Draconic Studies, and Soul Mirror. We already saw Soul Mirror in I believe we saw it in GermanShep's deck. But Draconic Studies could also be beneficial here. Especially with the fact you have some dragons in play. Raised Dead, I don't think might not be one that you would want to use right now.
It might not be bad with the Sethic Veilweaver, though. Well, Sethic only gets you something if you cast it on a minion, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's probably... That felt like a really weird choice.
Yeah. But they go to Soul Mirror. They go to Soul Mirror. The Renew brings out the Thought Steal. And we see Disciple of Galakron to end the turn. And we see a Skeletal Dragon now in hand for GermanShep. Meanwhile, for Fanboy, we got 2 Secret Passages, a Wand Thief, the Questing Adventurer, and the Evil Miscreant. I don't really think there's a whole lot you can do with this.
There's not much.
Absolutely. I mean, you could use your hero power, and that's it.
Yeah. Or you just play a secret passage, but that feels a little lackluster there.
I mean, it's kind of unnecessary because you still have a Questing Adventurer in your hand. Yeah. You only have 3 mana anyway, so there's not really a point in using it right now.
Yeah.
When you can use it later, see what you get, go ham if you have the abilities, but instead, Fanboy just goes with the hero power. Gonna take out the Cleric of Scales, and Edwin Van Cleef hits with the face. Apotheosis comes into play here. I definitely think we're gonna be seeing this in play. The question, though, do you use it on the Ooze, which looks to be the better play, or one of the Disciple of Galakrons? Because either way, you're going to be getting a ton of health back, which is going to be huge for Priest.
Yeah. Is there anything that GermanShep can find with the Thought Steal? I mean, we'd mentioned earlier that Fanboy's Rogue is not running any saps, so
Nope.
even a Thought Steal into sap is not a possibility here.
Nope. If anything, maybe the questing adventure, but I think Saw Steel might be useful later on. But no, what do we know? We see dirty tricks and a backstab here, so
All right.
we'll see the Sussex Veil Weaver. Nope, guess not.
I think if he were to do that, he was kind of running out of time.
Yeah.
But
And
next
meanwhile,
time he could do the Sethik and
Apotheosis
yeah,
and a backstab.
and the backstab. Yep. So he can get a lot more value out of it next turn.
Also, keep in mind you got the Cobalt Spellkin there, so if
Yeah.
you wanted to boost up, get some other 1-cost spells in there, depending on what those spells are, he could definitely do some damage in the turn after that. But you're also in good position with Apotheosis and backstab as well. Meanwhile, that you gotta do something with that about that Edwin Van Cleef. You really do. And now, GermanShep is in the position now he's got to think. Does the Cabal Acolyte go in for some taunt pressure? Or do you do what we were talking about? Sussex Veil Weaver, Apotheosis, backstab. And I'm pretty confident that is going to be the play, and indeed it is. Sussex Veil Weaver comes in. We see backstab first to do something towards Van Cleef, and ooh, Shadow Word. Ooh.
I think it's still the Apotheosis this turn, though. But that's a pretty good pickup.
The Apotheosis to the Ooze would probably be the best bet here.
Yeah.
Get some health back.
Yeah.
Apotheosis is you get 3 attack, unless I'm mistaken, right? No, it's 2 or 3. Okay. You have 3 something.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get 5 health back. The Van Cleef is no longer an issue, and you're able to attack face. So now you got Mind Vision, you got Shadow Word, you got the Shadow Word. Soul Mirror could be used later on. This is going to be a very close match down the line, as we now see Questing Adventure come into play. The Faceless Lackey. Now, do we see a secret passage, or do we see the Goblin? We're going to see the Goblin Lackey, I think, here.
Yeah. I think it's fine. There doesn't seem to be a lot of mana kind of left to really get value off of the secret passage at the moment.
Keep an eye on that Questing Adventure, because that could be something to watch down the line. Meanwhile, for GermanShep, Cleric of Scales comes back into play. You also got the Cabal Acolyte that could be used for one of the 1 attack minions here with that spell burst. But if you're GermanShep, what do you exactly do in this situation? Do you try your luck with the Cleric of Scales, see what spells you get? Or do you try the Cabal Acolyte and try get a little bit of board presence?
I mean,
with
yeah,
taking one of the
start
minions.
with the Cleric, right? Because if the Cleric doesn't work out, there's the potential for the Cabal and just the Mind Visions or something.
Time's starting to dwindle down here for GermanShep this turn. It looks like we might be seeing the Cabal Acolyte here. And Shadow Word Pain comes in. So he's going to take out the 1/4. He's going to take over the 1/1. So he's got a little bit of board presence, especially with the Questing Adventure in play. But now you look at Fanboy's hand. You got Ambush, you got Ancestral Guardians, 2 secret passages, and a Blackjack Stunner, which, by the way, guess what? Is coming into play.
Yep.
We're going to say goodbye to to the Cabal Acolyte here. I would assume one of the lackeys takes out the Wand Thief.
Yeah. I mean, Fanboy being able to get that big early Edwin and now this large... this is, like, brutal almost, I think, for GermanShep. Like, he's had no good way to deal with those big threats.
Nope. And he's just bolstering up at this point here. Yeah. And I think we're just going to see attacked face from Fanboy here with that 9/9 questing adventurer. I don't see anything else you can do. Maybe one of the lackeys take out the Wand Thief, clear the board, and that's exactly what happened. So now GermanShep is in trouble. But you also got Shadow Word Death in there to take out that 9/9.
Oh. Okay, I was just about to say, he did pick that Soul Mirror earlier, but this Pyro coming into hand is pretty good too, because the Pyro Death plus something else can clear everything as well. And he might be able to squeeze in a hero power too.
Yeah, shame we don't got the one of the renews available here. But I think the Pyro, and like you said, Pyro, Death, maybe Mind Visions to clear the board could come into play here as well. I just don't think that I don't think a Cabal Acolyte is necessary this turn, because I think if you're GermanShep, you're trying to find a way to clear the board, and we might see Cleric of Scales make a return this game around. I think that's what we're gonna do. Now I think, okay, we see Apotheosis.
Yeah, the Apotheosis with the Wild Pyro could be pretty juicy. It's a lot of heal.
Oh no, but they go with the Apotheosis and not the Shadow Word Death. You got most of the weak ones, but you still have a giant freaking 9/9 attack minion there. Yeah, you got health back. You still got the Questing Adventurer.
Yeah, now it's just a matter of if Fanboy can find cheaper spells or cheaper things to play here to keep buffing that up, or find some extra damage.
We are gonna see an Eviscerate. We're gonna see a Shadow Step. Oh no. And that's it. GermanShep realizes they made a mistake. Fanboy goes up 2-1 with the win against with that priest. And now, or I'm sorry, with the rogue, excuse me. So now Fanboy, all they got is a priest to continue their winning streak against GermanShep. Meanwhile, GermanShep is now in a position. You gotta do one of two things. Fanboy knows now the priest and the rogue. That priest was really capable. It's just that blunder. You had a chance with Shadow Word Death, and you had an opportunity, and you messed up. But it is what it is. Apotheosis is a great card, but it was not useful. It was not useful really in that situation.
Yeah, it just didn't quite work out. I don't know if it was a matter of him not seeing it, or if he took a chance just trying to go for the healing. But yeah, didn't quite do enough there at the end. Though, does he stick with the priest as GermanShep, or you think he brings the druid?
I think he brings the priest back. I really think he brings the priest back. We get that game 4 priest mirror match. See which priest is better. Obviously we saw a priest early on with Fanboy in game 2. So GermanShep knows kind of what to expect. But at the same time, if you're GermanShep, you would think that if you didn't have that mistake, if you didn't make that blunder, we could have been potentially seeing a 2-1 lead in favor of GermanShep. Because that Shadow Word Death would have been useful as all hell against that questing adventurer. So I think GermanShep's going to kind of go into this game with that in mind, shake it off, try not to make the same mistake twice. Because this is crunch time for GermanShep. They definitely need a win here to keep the series alive. Otherwise, they're going to start the season 5 0-1. And yeah, a 9-week season is, it can be considered a long season. But in Hearthstone, when you're playing matches every single week, the losses could definitely catch up to you, especially if you're in a running for a wild card spot in the playoffs.
Yeah, and I was thinking of something along that same line too, with even just being down 2-1. If GermanShep ends up losing the series, if he can even just take it to a game 5, even in a loss, every game that these players can win is just that much closer to, like you said, maybe making a spot because of tiebreakers and things like that. So trying to get every little win in every match is very, very important. So yeah, even if you can't win it, yeah, just getting another win and taking it to game 5 would be pretty good for either player, whichever one ends up losing the series.
The old saying is that every game matters, and in Aspirant, whether it's Hearthstone or VML, the saying is true. You may not win the series, but if you can go to a game 5, that could definitely put that that differential between a 3-2 compared to a 3-1 could definitely put you in a running for playoffs down the line. As we get ready for game 4 here, and we see Druid and Priest come in. Fanboy going in with Priest. GermanShep bringing back the Druid for game 4. High powered deck list for GermanShep here. Speaker Gedra right off the bat. You also got Overflow and Alex Straza. 2 cards I don't think really are necessary to start off. And meanwhile, we see Forest Warden Omu gets drawn this time for GermanShep. Meanwhile, Fanboy gets Dragon Queen, Alex Straza, Raised Dead, Apotheosis, Zephyrus the Great, the Coin, and a Soul Mirror just popped up. So
that Soul Mirror might be pretty nice later.
Yeah, keep that Soul Mirror handy, Fanboy.
Especially with this potential early Ysera that we're likely going to see come down here.
So GermanShep goes for the hero power, does 1 damage to Fanboy. Fanboy, meanwhile, Zephyrus looks interesting. Not really a card you would want to play right away when you can continue to build it up and get something nicer. But it just kind of all depends on where Fanboy is at mentally here in game 4. And we are going to see Zephyrus in play. Wild Growth, Power Shield, or Power Word Shield, and Animal Companion, and we see Wild Growth come into play. So we talked about Druid being able to jump ahead with getting mana. Well, Fanboy is going to be able to jump right back into it, make it closer than GermanShep wanted. Now, going back to GermanShep, I think the same play here would have been Innovate and Overgrowth, but instead they tend with the hero power to attack face. Kind of interesting move there by GermanShep.
More ramp.
Overgrowth now comes into play.
GermanShep's really looking to draw guardian animals here.
Or exotic mouse setter, because you already had the Innervate and the Moonfire.
Yeah.
As well. But I don't think the Innervate would be useful if that was the case at that turn, because you don't have a 1-cost card in hand at the moment. So
actually, GermanShep is the one running the Malyghost Druid, so no Mount Seller in GermanShep's list.
Oh yeah, that's right. That kind of you could use at least one of them. Actually, no, use both of them, because now you're gonna get the empty mana crystals. And now that being said, you're 1 turn away from 10 mana already, whereas Fanboy will have 6.
Yeah.
So
And that's with Fanboy taking the wild growth off of Zephyrus as well. So that just shows how far ahead the Druid can jump with that ramp.
Galakan gets drawn for Fanboy. Not really gonna be of any use this time around, but we do see a Resh Tutor come in. Add a little bit more board presence for Fanboy. And meanwhile, Zephyrus will attack face. So now we got Ysera coming into play here. Keep an eye on that Alexstrasza that got drawn. We might see that change up the tempo a little bit here in GermanShep's favor.
Yeah, I think GermanShep's getting that Ysera down. Likely going to draw some cards next turn to try to get those portals pulled out.
Meanwhile, Galakrond gets in to knock out the Ysera. But like you said, you got 7 portals in deck, so you're not going to see it this time. So now, do you go with the Alexstrasza and switch over to 15 health for Fanboy, given that you said you had the 5 shield?
There could even be consideration for the Omu. I like an Omu swipe and go for an overgrowth, but that does start to take away a little bit of the combo pieces. And yeah, against the priest, you might really be looking to close out the game either with the portals or that Malygos and those combo pieces.
Mm-hmm.
There's too many cards in hand for GermanShep to. He's gonna have to dump some stuff out of his hand before he can play this overflow.
There's Guardian Animals that we talked about, as well as a Speaker Gidra, and there's one of the portals. And there's a Malygos. Oh boy. Another portal comes in. We got the 410 Twin Tyrants, a Noobsias Defender.
Well,
things just got interesting. Because now, if you're GermanShep, you got the other Malygos in hand. But you also got the combo pieces. You got the swipes. You got the Moonfire. You also got Alexstrasza, which could be used on Fanboy to knock down the health from 30 to 15. But if I'm Fanboy, you gotta be trying to do something with that Noobsias Defender to get Malygos out of the way.
yeah.
Does Soul Mirror come into play? I don't think so. If you're Fanboy, you can use Soul Mirror to add to your advantage a little bit, but I don't think necessarily a card you would want to play right now.
Yeah, I don't know if it's enough. That's kind of the thing, because I mean, GermanShep pulling this Malygos while he's already playing Malygos Druid and has a full hand, that has got to kind of put some pressure on Fanboy to make sure he has a way to remove this.
So we see a raised dead come into play, bring back to Zephyrus, and execute, and there goes Malygos number 1. Delays the inevitable damage that was going to be happening there. And if you're a GermanShep, you're thinking, that's okay. I still got Malygos number 2, plus another Dream Portal with an 8/8 Netheradamus coming in play. And now, if you're GermanShep, do you go with the other Malygos? Do you go the Alexstrasza, or would you go with Speaker Gidra and play the Guardian Animals? You know, power up the 3 costs there.
Yeah, the Ghidra Guardian Animals doesn't seem bad at all.
I think GermanShep's kind of thinking that might be the play here.
I mean, why not? It pulls a couple more things out of the deck for GermanShep to get him closer to a little bit more of that. Really, at this point, with both Innervates being gone, he really wants to draw those Lightning Blooms to kind of help, and also find that Germination. See with the Omu kind of get some of that burst stuff going.
But instead of going with the guardian animals, he goes with the overgrowth and draws a crystal power.
Did he get the healing off there? Okay.
And it looks like they do. So now you got a 5/8 in Speaker Gidra. You would have thought that it would have gone to guardian animals though, just to get that Gidra more powerful.
I mean, he could also be trying to space out the board here because big board removal does kind of take away a lot from his board if he goes too wide. Forcing the priest to use removal on 3 minions is a little bit less efficient than what Fanboy wants to be doing with that removal.
Meanwhile, over for Fanboy, I'm seeing a lot of glowing cards there. You got Dragon Queen Alexstrasza, you got the Breath of the Infinite, you also got Madame Lazul, you also got the Cabal, the Mind Control, the 6 cost, a Sussex Veil Weaver, Apotheosis, the coin somehow is still in there.
Well, not anymore.
Nope, not anymore, indeed. And we see Dragon Queen Alexstrasza comes into play. And we summon an Amber Watcher to heal up the health right away.
But
for Fanboy.
Is this just lethal for GermanShep? I mean, finds another Maligos.
I mean,
Alexstrasza plus some big things on board.
GermanShep somehow, some way, was able to use the Druid and force a game 5. We talk about the Dragon Portals all the time. The Ysera has been essential in Druid decks since it came out. We didn't just have one Malygos come out. We had 2. 2 freaking Malygoses. And then
he still had the one in the hand.
He still had the one in hand.
Yeah.
Everything went GermanShep's way that time around. Now Fanboy had their moments also with the priest. Especially with the Amber Watcher right away. But the second that Malygos came out for GermanShep, it was, like you said, that was lethal. It was game over. You didn't even have to worry about using a swipe or nothing, because you had the attack for it. Yeah. So now we get to see in game 5 the match we've been talking about all broadcast long, the Priest Mirror match. This is how game 5 is going to go down. Priest Mirror match, Fanboy, GermanShep, both looking to start their season 1-0. Both priests are really GermanShep's priests looks to be better effective than Fanboys, because we've seen priests now for Fanboy twice, and both times it's gotten close, but it hasn't crossed the finish line yet. If you're Fanboy going into this game, what do you gotta do to get that victory with this priest?
Oh, He needs to find those pieces, I think, like he did last game. The Druid just got out on board much more strongly, I think, than what he could kind of keep up with. But if he can find those Highlander-type pieces, that Zephyrus early, that Alexstrasza again, I mean, it really can do a lot for him. I really think that's what he's going to be trying to go for. Is it going to be enough if he finds it, though?
That is a question as we prepare for game 5 to start up at any moment now. We knew this was going to be a dogfight. We knew this was going to be, a battle, a great way to start off season 5, a rematch from last season's championship match. But I don't think we really expected this with the twists and turns that we've had, because for the first 3 games, it looked like Fanboy was gonna do something about it, but GermanShep in their own right has said, "Nah, it's not over yet." Game 5, right here, winner takes all. Fanboy and GermanShep both rolling with Priest. Fanboy getting the Disciple of Galacron, Mind Flayer, Karaj. First time we've seen that card all broadcast long. and Cabal Acolyte. Meanwhile, GermanShep, not a bad hand. The Soul Mirror and the Cabal Acolyte might be a little much, but given the fact you're going to have the coin in hand, keep that Sussex Veilweaver and Apotheosis and try your luck with the mulligan.
Yeah, it's not bad. Neither of these hands really look terrible yet for these priests. Yep, gonna stick with that Veilweaver and Apotheosis.
Now I'm actually curious to see if GermanShep's actually listening to the broadcast and listening into my suggestions here. I swear to God, I'm not coaching. I'm not. I promise you.
We are on a delay for this match, so the players.
Yes, we are on. Yeah, we are on a delay, a 10-minute delay here. As we get going, game 5, both players are playing the Disciple of Galakron. Fanboy dropping an Envoy of Azul. GermanShep getting the Reliquary of. I can never see what the heck that card is at the bottom here.
The Reliquary of Souls.
Yes, the Reliquary of Souls. Thank you. It just cuts out at the bottom there. The Reliquary is actually going to be very interesting because you'll get the Reliquary Prime once it goes away. So now we see the Envoy of Azul come in, and Fanboy gets a coin now because of it. Now, if you're GermanShep, what do? Because I don't think the Sussex Spellweavers or Veilweavers, excuse me, are essential right now.
No.
Advancing the Mind Flayer just because, or you can play the Apotheosis and boost up the Disciple a bit here. And also get some health back. But would you even want to waste that? And I think
I think with him keeping the Sethic to start, he probably doesn't want to go that route.
Well, now you got 2 in hand as we see the Reliquary of Souls come into play here. A little lifesteal action for you for GermanShep. Meanwhile, Fanboy kind of debating between the Mind Flayer Courage. I think that's going to be the case here. So he'll copy the Reliquary, and the second that Courage goes away, Fanboy will have a Reliquary of his own. Now, GermanShep, if he really wants to, you got 2 Sussex Veilweavers in hand here. You could drop one, play the Raised Dead, and test your luck. But at the same time, you could also boost up the Reliquary here. You got some options, not really a whole lot that are sticking out with this one necessarily.
He could trade into the Mind Flayer and then Raise Dead to get the Reliquary of Souls back.
I think that might be the play here. The question is, do you play the Sussex Veilweaver, get another spell? Oh, I guess not. So
yeah, you wouldn't get another one back because it would have to cast on a minion to get something.
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
Ooh, just gonna play one out for tempo though.
I think the better play instead of the Sussex, the Veilweaver would have been the Disciple of Galakron. Boost up, invoke, see what priest minion you get. Meanwhile, the Mind Flayer goes away. And oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Okay.
Well, that escalated quickly. Now, GermanShep thinking he has something, and then Fanboy brought out the Cabal Acolyte and a coin just because he could, adding a little bit of pressure now for GermanShep early in this game. And I think the only play you can do is, well, at the time, was just the Mind Flayer. But the Temple Enforcer also will definitely be a good one. As we see another Mind Flayer Courage, this time on GermanShep's side, comes in for and copies the reliquary, one of the reliquaries sold, not necessarily the one that was stolen from GermanShep this time around.
There's just going to be a lot of reliquary primes coming out later.
Yep. If you went into this game betting that you were going to see more than 3 reliquary primes, congratulations, you can cash your ticket in right now.
Oh,
That's a third. Souls! Holy crap!
I didn't kind of expect it to feel this one-sided, but it is feeling really one-sided right now.
GermanShep has to be feeling the pressure. The hand's not really helping them, though.
No, not at all.
Even with a Sussex Weaver into Apotheosis, you could try your luck with a Cobalt spell can and see what you get, but I don't know what else you could do.
Yeah.
The end might be near for GermanShep here in Game 5.
You don't pick the wands.
As we see a Wand Maker come into play, a Renew.
Sure. Yeah, everything's full health, but you know, little
not?
healing and priest doesn't hurt, right?
You'll be able to get an extra spell. Why not? We see the Renew come into play. Restore the Acolyte. Mass Dispel, Grave Rune. You know what? Grab the Grave Rune and just throw it out of Reliquary. Why not? We already got a crap load of them anyways.
Infinite reliquaries. Why not? Yeah, oh my gosh.
Oh boy. Alright, so that is Reliquary Prime number. I've lost count. How many is that?
I have no idea. 6?
Well, there's gonna be 7.
Yeah, I don't know. Way more than what I think we'll end up actually see being played. Oh.
Meanwhile, they just go with the heal there just because they can. Draconic Studies comes in, but I think it might be too late here for GermanShep. They don't really have anything they can work with, even if you play the Temple Enforcer, you know, or the.
Does it have to be like a Wild Pyro, Apotheosis, and some small stuff?
Pyro, Apotheosis, and an Inner Fire, or Embalming Fluid, maybe.
Yeah, something.
Maybe save the Apotheosis for later. But the problem is that you're still gonna have the taunt in play for Fanboy. You'll be able to knock out the 2 health, but that 2/6 is still gonna be in play.
Yeah.
I think that's exactly what we're going to see here. Draconic Studies. Ooh.
Well, GermanShep is not the one running the Highlander version, so that Dragon Queen Alexstrasza not as impactful, but
Nope.
OG Alexstrasza definitely could be.
Yeah, that. Especially the fact you still have the coin, you can definitely tip the scales in your favor. But I'd say the question is also, do you throw Murzond in there, depending on what what Fanboy plays? As we see the Wild Pyromancer go bye-bye. We got yet another Draconic Studies.
Why not? More dragons.
Just because, yeah. Why not?
We already have like 1 million reliquary primes, so why not add, you know, a bunch of dragons in there too?
Cecily Veil Weaver comes into play. Embalming Ritual gives it reborn. Power Infusion as well.
Keep the chain going. Ooh.
And now, keep in mind, the Draconic Studies is still in effect. So the dragons now still cost 1 less. We also got the other one in hand. And you also got Inner Fire as well. So GermanShep is thinking seeing some interesting moves here. Meanwhile, Fanboy just goes in with the
Oh,
evasive Dracnoid.
oh my
And
god.
now we see okay.
Oh, there it goes.
And we're back. And we're back. It was going so well.
I mean, that plague pickup on GermanShep side though might come in here. We might just see the coin plague, and that's not bad at all.
Or you got Murzon as well. You could play Murzon and see what you get, but yeah, I think coin and plague just to get that board clear.
Yeah.
Because you also gotta keep in mind you also got the evasive Dracnoid, excuse me, for Fanboy there.
Yeah.
Yeah, just coin and go to plague at this point. I just you don't want to take a risk with the Cobalt. You don't want to use Alexstrasza or Murzon right now because the situation doesn't develop it. You're not really close to death. You know, you're not in a good position at the moment. Meanwhile, if you're a Fanboy, you're thinking, you know, just keep doing what I'm doing, add some more pressure, and you'll be able to come out top with nothing. But
Yeah.
it's interesting right now what's going on.
All right. No, could
And
go
we
for
see
the spell.
Cobalt, and we
Why?
get 2 Ruby assists. But you know, remember I said that? Yeah, we're not coaching this stuff. I take it back. Hey, GermanShep, you may want to listen to us. We're trying to help you out here, dude. This is just, oh my goodness.
Ugh. And Fanboy just taking full advantage of this Sethic right now.
The circle of healing. Yeah,
The Shadow Word Ruin pickup. I mean, this. All of those primes in the deck for Fanboy, like GermanShep is really gonna need some help here.
this might be the time where we see OG Alexstrasza come in to add something. But you also got Cleric of Scales, which you could do something. Or, like we've been saying all along, Plague of Sands. Come on. There, or Plague of Death. Excuse me.
Coin the Cleric along with it. Nope. Just gonna pass it over.
Yes, not. So now we see the we'll see the now 6 cost evasive Dragonade come into play. Add a little taunt pressure there.
Ooh.
Now I think
Is
this might
this
be
the
where
turn where Murzon comes down?
You know what? Let's see what Draconic Study brings. Ooh. Stay the hell away from Deathwing there. It's not gonna end well. Just go to Nexia.
Yeah.
Call it what it is. It's
I like
not
the
worth
Anixia.
it. But Murzon might be a play as well
Yeah.
to get that taunt in play. Because now you're also gonna have a minion that can't be attacked by spells or hero power.
Yeah.
We'll get renewed, so we'll be able to boost up the health a little bit.
Mm.
Forbidden Words would be useful if the spell / hero power thing we mentioned would not that evasive Draconid.
You could thought steal some primes. There's a lot of primes in the deck.
Yeah, coin and let's say screw it. Why not? Meanwhile, we see Murzon come into play, a Radiance to boost up just a little bit. And now we see there's Prime number 1, baby.
One of like 50.
Yeah, we should have had a Prime counter at the bottom right corner here. But we didn't. It is what it is. We didn't expect it to go this far. So if you're a Fanboy here, here's a suggestion: keep the prime in hand, but throw the convincing infiltrator in play, or just use Shadow Word Death, and yeah, throw the Reliquary Prime in play.
Yeah, no, I like it. I mean, there was something big that was untargetable out on the board last turn, and GermanShep really didn't have a way to deal with it. So why not just put another one on the board and say, okay, well, you couldn't deal with it last turn, and now you can't deal with it this turn, I'm guessing. So
We see
I like it.
Anexia and a full board of little whelps. And if you're fanboy here, do you really want to attack the whelps? Would you want to try to attack face, add some pressure to GermanShep? So you use Renew. Radiance Plague of Death is Silence.
Sure. More Plague of Deaths.
We got the Convincing Infiltrator comes into play now, and an animated Broomstick. So the Broomstick goes away. And the Infiltrator will get full heals. And now, ooh. Okay, so GermanShep has the wave of apathy here. So both the Infiltrator and the Evasive Draconid will be affected no matter what. You could play Disciple of Galakron to see what you got.
Yeah, some of the tools in hand right now just don't feel very effective. So I kind of like just searching and see what you find, but
Wait
what
a
a
minute.
find.
Wait a minute here. Wave of Apathy for the Cabal Shadow
Yeah.
Wielder. Holy crap. That use on the reliquary there.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, no, don't, because you gotta make sure you get rid of that infiltrator first. Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
And there goes the Nixia. But it's still a good return here. And prime number 1 now goes to GermanShep.
Yeah, and GermanShep has kind of flipped this board, but there's a lot of answers sitting in Fanboy's hand here.
2 of them being Plague of Death.
Yeah.
And I think that if I'm Fanboy, you want to kind of clear the board. I think that's what we're going to see here. So Reliquary Prime 1 goes away. And we're back to the drawing board, ladies and gentlemen. So let's see here. GermanShep still has Alex Straza in play. Cleric of Scales, which is what they play. Ooh. I think Apotheosis might be handy just because down the line.
I mean, all of these are not bad choices.
Nope. We go to Soul Mirror instead. We also see a Wretch Tutor, a Temple Enforcer.
Yeah. Get some stuff on board. Oh.
We see Time Rift come in now. And we're gonna have a fully powered Galakron. Well, no, not fully powered Galakron. I'm sorry. A tier 2 Galakron potentially next turn. So if you're GermanShep, what you would want to try and do is you could do one of 2 things. Use the Alex Straza and knock it down to 15. Then use inner fire, boost up that Wretched Tutor, or try to heal up, try to stay alive, but at the same time you're not adding pressure to Fanboy.
Yeah.
Because Fanboy has another Plague of Death, and a Galakrond as well.
I mean, he could just Alexstrasza, coin the Shadow Word Death, and kill the 5/6. It doesn't push as much damage, and the Galakrond does a pretty good job of cleaning up. But yeah, I like the Alexstrasza and just push the damage. Oh, and the Kronk's even coming into hand, though. Fanboy can definitely turn this around with this Galakrond and Kronk's here.
And we're going to see Galakrond come into play, so we'll say goodbye to Alexstrasza and the Wretched Tutor. It was fun while it lasted, ladies. Meanwhile, Galakrond Blade comes into play with a Cabal Shadow Mind.
Oh, no more Dragon in hand now for GermanShep either for this Cleric. Let's find something.
Let's see what they get.
Okay. Can discover a dragon. Or...
And I think that's going to be the game plan. What dragon gets discovered? The Aeon Reaver.
The Mage Scribe gives you more spells. It might just be the Mage Scribe.
Might be the Mage Scribe, and then you can play the Cleric of Scales, and then coin, get more 2 random spells. The Mage Scribe sounds to be the better option.
Yeah. I think so.
Because sure, the Aeon Reaver can do damage, but you still, Fanboy has 11 with that 5 shield. So Mage Scribe comes into play now.
Didn't play the Cleric, though, with the dragon in hand.
Well, the Cleric, yeah. I think GermanShep is realizing that now. But now we got Dark Prophecy and Shadow Madness in hand for GermanShep. But at the same time, we're going to be seeing Kronks come in here for Fanboy.
Could do that. Go for an 8/8? Is that the route he wants to go, though? Could be answered for...
It's one of 2 things. It's either attack 5, do 5 damage and get 5 health, or go with the 8/8 and add some pressure to GermanShep to respond, which they could with the Soul Mirror.
Yeah.
If they really wanted to. But I think it's also... Yeah, we're going to see Kronks come into play here. And we're going to see the 5 damage, 5 heal move. We'll see Dark Prophecy. Looks like coming to play here. The Pint-Sized Summoner. Actually, I don't think that's going to necessarily work. Really, none of these... The Grand Mummy might work because you could get the random minion 1/1. I think that might be the only play that they could do, though. Now the question is, do you try? You don't Soul Mirror just for Kronks, but you'll see Cleric of Scales, and the Mage Scribe will just do. We'll just attack face. GermanShep will heal up, and now we see Madame Lazul in hand for Fanboy. That might be the play to go with here. Unless they decide to hero power and try their luck. Lazul sounds like the better choice, really.
Yeah, especially with such a low hand size from GermanShep. Seeing the coin.
I think that's just a given right there. Go with the coin. Kind of surprised. I think this is the longest Aspire game we've seen the coin in play. I don't know if GermanShep realizes they have the coin. They can use the coin. We're gonna see a classic fail weaver here.
Okay.
Shadow Madness.
Oh.
Whispers of Evil. Oh boy.
Okay.
Global Lucky. And restore all health to the minions. So back and forth we go. I think this is where we'll see Soulmare kind of come into play here. But the one thing that if I'm GermanShep, what I would do is move that Grand Mummy to attack the Sussex Fell Weaver. Just because you'll be able to clear board on both sides.
Yeah. Okay, here goes.
Now you're raised dead. You get the Kronks,
Oh,
but
my
not gonna do you much though because you don't have Galakron. At least at the moment.
Yeah, it's still somewhere in there.
Meanwhile, we get yet another Reliquarial Soul. Haven't seen that one in a long time.
Why not?
Why not? Indeed. The Sussex Fell Weaver for Fanboy goes away. Now, if you're a Fanboy, do you go with the Mind Flayer? Do you get the Reliquary again, like we saw earlier in the game, and just add, to the unlimited army of primes that you have?
Just gonna start with the hero power. Oh wow.
Ooh, that's a big haul there.
It's a good pickup.
Let me change your mind.
We're gonna see a Cabal Shadow Priest, the Imprisoned Vile Fiend, Fanboy. They at less health, but they're not giving up yet. They're not down yet. GermanShep, however, really, I don't think you do a heck of a whole lot with this at the moment.
What is a loon's will?
Except maybe play Crocs, but even then, I don't think it's necessarily worth it.
Yeah. I mean, it does draw him the Galakron, but yeah, it might not be worth it quite yet.
Cabal Acolyte, kind of dangling in there, and it's going to get played.
Yeah, he's gonna go for it. Does he want to play the coin? Yeah.
I mean, the coin makes sense because now you'll get the Veil
Sethek.
Weaver. Yep. And we do see Kronks come into play.
That Sethek is just a hot potato, I think. Just keeps going back and forth on the board here. Okay.
But now if you're a Fanboy,
there's way too many primes in the deck. The Dragon Queen Alexstrasza shut off. Oh.
It was a great plan at first. The problem is they're all still in the deck. And now it's just. I wonder if there's a record for the longest match in Aspirant history here. I'm actually very curious to see if there is one. GermanShep. There's no point in playing the Galakron. You can't do anything with that dormant minion. So just play the best play would be to play the Wandmaker, I think. Yep.
Yeah.
And we get Draconic Studies. Ooh. The other Alexstrasza. No, we see a Plague Proto Drake instead. That's actually, you know what? that was actually a better draw. That was a better move instead of the other Extraza. Because Fanboy is basically kind of hanging on by a thread right now. They gotta play that Sandhoof Water Bearer. They have to. Because there's no other way that they're gonna be able to stay alive without that card coming into play.
Yeah. And the difficult thing here for Fanboy is playing that Shadowward Ruin. Still, then the Death Rattle goes off, and then there's a 7-cost minion that is likely 5 attack or more, right? So
Yep.
the Shadowward Ruin kind of only deals with half of this right now, and that still just kind of leaves Fanboy in the same spot on board. Yeah, he can still drop the Water Bearer afterwards for some healing. I guess he kind of has to go for this. Oh, it's stealth too. It's good for GermanShep.
Really good for GermanShep here.
All right.
And we see Apotheosis also. So you got Galakron and Apotheosis to boot. Why not? Just why not at this point?
Yeah. Yeah. 4 off lethal. So not quite enough damage to actually end the game here.
But given what Fanboy has in hand at the moment, and was also all the Reliquary Primes in the deck, Fanboy is not really looking at a whole lot of options to try and come back and win this one, especially if the Water Bearer gets knocked out of this one. We're gonna see Shadow Madness come into play. Just healing it back up and everything.
Yeah, not going to use the Apotheosis.
We see another Reliquary come into play.
That was actually the last duplicate as well, because the Dragon Queen Alexstrasza lit up. It was active again.
Ooh. So now we'll see Galakron come into play. We'll see Apotheosis come into play.
That is it.
That is going to do it here. GermanShep gets his revenge. And we'll start Season 5 1-0, 3-2. A monsters victory in Game 5 here for GermanShep. But you also got to give credit to Fanboy as well. Just a dogfight in the end. He would not stay down. He would not give up. And like we had said going into Game 5, that it was Fanboy lost. They're going to start 0-1. But this 3-2 result's going to help him down the line when we get closer and closer to the playoffs. So It's not doom and gloom for Fanboy just yet. Now, if you're GermanShep, you're feeling good about yourself because, hey, you not only beat the guy you lost to in Season 4, in the Season 4 finals, but you also are up 1-0. That's got to be huge, especially given it's a 9-week season.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm starting out with that win. Definitely has to feel good for GermanShep. So, but like you mentioned, still a lot of games to go over the next, handful of weeks, over the next couple of months. So, Fanboy, not out of it by any means. This was just the beginning.
The thing is, no one is out of it right now. No one is early on. You can start the season 0-1 like I did, and you know what? You can still be in the race in the end. But really, just fantastic games to start off Season 5. I don't think you could have asked for a better start.
Yeah, absolutely. Great series there. Well played by both of them.
All right, so once again, GermanShep with a 3-2 victory starts the season 1-0. Fanboy falls to 0-1, but the 3-2 result actually could be beneficial to him down the line when it gets to playoffs. Before we get to our next game, we're going to take a bit of a 5-minute break. Before we do that, however, I do want to tell you guys something here. Magic the Gathering is making its long-awaited return, Season 3 of the Venus and Mercury League, a female non-binary Magic the Gathering Arena League here on the Aspirant channel. This year, we talk about Aspirant Hearthstone being big. 64 competitors fill up the roster for Season 3 of the VML League. They're going to fight in a 9-week gauntlet to see who will reign supreme as the VML champ. The season starts on Monday. They stream on Friday nights. So, starting Friday, September 11th, 8 p.m. Central Time here on the Aspirant CCG Twitch channel, they will kick off their biggest season, literally their biggest season yet. So, if you're big fans of Magic, if you're fans of the VML League, or you're just fans of Aspirant in general, definitely check them out. Again, they start Season 3 this Friday, September 11th at 8 p.m. Central Time. With that being said, we're going to take a 5-minute break before we get into our second and final game of today's broadcast. Dragon Rider, Jimmy Cat. Again, GermanShep starts the season 1-0 with a 3-2 victory over Fanboy. We will be right back, ladies and gentlemen. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to week 1 of season 5 of the Aspirant Hearthstone League. My name is Jimmy Cat, and as you can see, I have a different broadcast partner today. AFG Dragon Rider had to step away for her scheduled match, so we wish her the best of luck, and we hope that she's able to join in the stream as a spectator. But today, I am joined by the one, the only, making his debut here on the Aspirant Twitch channel, the one and only Bemmy. Bemmy, how are you doing this evening?
I'm pretty good. I'm really excited. I don't get a lot of chances to cast. I'm usually the one behind uh the scenes, much like Bard running amazing events. So it's really just nice to sit down and take a moment just to talk with some friends about Hearthstone. So I'm great. How are you?
You know what? After that long first match,
Yeah.
I got the energy going through, man. It was a lot of fun. If you're just tuning in, GermanShep Fanboy, a rematch of the Season 4 Championship Series. GermanShep getting revenge in a Game 5 thriller, yet long, Mirror Priest match to get the win 3-2 and start the season 1-0. So congrats to GermanShep on that one. Congrats again to the revenge that they were looking for. And now we move on to our second match of the night, which it comes out of Division 4 between Kazghar and NoGlocko. NoGlocko has been a name here, so has Kazghar here in Aspirant. So both are well known here in the series. So really excited to see this one play out.
Yeah, me too as well. No Glocko also is a pretty well-known streamer as well. So
Mhm.
obviously that is they are constantly on the ladder grinding, and also just like a lot of the time streamers tend to be very eventful with decks because they have to make certain tech choices according to the ladder. So it allows them to see different avenues as well. So it'll be interesting to see. That being said, though, Kazghar's no joke. They've been also around the scene here and there as well. They're also a caster from time to time as well.
Yep.
So they're just genuinely all around. These are some, good Hearthstone citizens going at each other in a very, I think, respectable lineups, especially with the fact that there's no priest mirror. So I think it's very respectable to your voice.
Oh, thank God for that. Okay, yeah, we're good. Everything's good. Everything's happy. We're saying good to go here. Let's take a look at the deck list here before we get going for game 1 here. Let's take a quick look and see. We're going to start off with Kazghar here. As you see, the Paladin is all grayed out. That's a signal that it got banned. So Kazghar comes in with the Warlock, the Rogue, and the Warrior. We saw a different variation of Warrior with GermanShep. And really looking at this one here, we're seeing a lot of a good combination of cards with the most recent expansion. The most notable being the Dr. Krasinov here. That's been a staple in certain warrior decks. And I think this is going to be one of those.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially with the fact that weapons are sort of the big signature thing, and you're looking for all the buffs you can get and expand longevity. You pretty much the only thing you're worried about at that time is an acidic swamp who's devaluing all this hard work. But I mean, yeah, it's a 5 mana with 4/4 rush. Get some buffs. It's really great value. And honestly, I'm a little bit surprised that sometimes the Bomb Warrior doesn't get banned, but that's just because of last meta and just how many times Warrior
Yep.
was banned in general. But overall, pretty aggressive lineups. Looking at it, Stealth Rogue has been pretty outstanding at sort of hitting the face, and the stealth does make it difficult to deal with. And then on top of that, this Zulok variation with the Flesh Giants have been pretty cool. I've been seeing some pretty nutty plays in the European region where I'm from, and it's absolutely insane. So overall, definitely, I think I understand the Paladin ban. Looking at both of these decks, these are very much in esports terms NA aggro. So
Yep.
I'm excited to see just sort of a lot of hitting face. This is going to be a pretty fast series overall, I would imagine.
I would believe so as well. One thing to keep an eye on, going back to the Warrior here, you got Wrench Caliber in play. That is that's like you said, you don't, if you're Kazghar, you don't want your opponent to get that Swamp Ooze out. If you're Kazghar at the same time, you also want to make sure you can get Rich Caliber out into play, get some bombs into that deck early, for maybe a mid or late game run where it's just blowing up in your opponent's face. But anything else you want to add before we switch over to NoGlocko's deck list?
No, I think you summed it up pretty well. I'm just excited to see a lot of face hidden.
Well, that being said, let's switch over to NoGlocko. Let's see. Well, we have another round of face hitting here. As you can see, the Rogue gets banned for NoGlocko. So Paladin gets banned for Kazghar. Rogue gets banned for NoGlocko. And we see Demon Hunter, a similar warrior deck. So we could have a potential mirror match there. And Druid. Now, we've been seeing a lot of Druid in Aspirant here, especially we saw a Druid match between GermanShep. Not so much a mirror match, but we saw GermanShep bring his own variation of Druids here. This is like your typical guardian animal Druid that has been really the top tier in Druid decks since Scalaman's Academy came out, because you got Ysera. Interesting enough, they got King Ferocis added to this deck, which is going to be very surprising and interesting on how that's going to run. Maybe NoGlocko has played this in the past and thought, you know what, this works. I'm bringing it for the lulz. Why not?
I like it too a lot. You have overflow sitting a lot of the times, especially if you're trying to avoid draws. It actually could just well easily, with the amount of ramp Druid can get, it could be a mid game play, because you're just sort of sitting there with survival of the fittest, or you're waiting for your overflows to work. There's definitely a lot of spell generation also potentially as well, unless well, actually no, they don't. It's just mainly still a good board tool to take control. It is interesting to see it without the Kel'Thuzad, but honestly, with the nerf that recently happened to them, the combos have been more trickier to pull off. So this overall, I think, is just an interesting but good tech choice, and I think pretty much looking at the lineups here, it is going to be a little bit of a race where basically either uh, the NoGlocko is able to establish on board and stay alive long enough to avoid all the aggro and just sort of deplete the fuel of the aggro decks that Kazghar have, or Kazghar is just going to simply just outspeed them.
One thing I want to kind of bring up here, the Demon Hunter. Taking a look at the deck list here, you're seeing a lot of Spirit Jailers, the Shard Shattered Mystics. You're seeing Marrow Slicer. So basically, they're going to be able to get that, that attack phase that we've seen with Demon Hunter, opportunity to rebound with the soul shards and being able to get that health back. But one card I want to keep in mind, keep an eye on here, is Max Theridin, because we have seen Max Theridin not really a heck of a whole lot. We haven't seen it really in a lot of tournament play. It's more here and there just for kicks and giggles. It's a good card, but depending on the situation, it can also backfire on you real quickly.
It can. It's very interesting, because obviously if you can pull it off, that is going to be one tough cookie to take care of. But on the other hand, there's a lot of ways of just simply denying your opponent the value. I think definitely if they went up against the rogue per se, and it just, I don't know, shadow stepped one of the 1/3s, that could be a little bit of a tough thing to get back the Mag Theridin. So it's definitely been in a lot of decks recently. I personally am not a big fan of it, just because of the level of consistency that it can bring. But if you have a way of addressing the 1/3s much more later into the game, then it's great. But then there's also that argument of like, well, usually when you're able to answer 3 1/3s, it's pretty much more later into the game. So how much does that really give you the advantage? It definitely is a very skill-based card, and I'm excited to see how NoGlocko pulls it off. And if anybody can do it in this league, it's definitely NoGlocko.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, that is a deck list here. Once again, NoGlocko's Rogue getting banned, Kazghar Paladin getting banned. So we are hopefully not going to have a 2-hour match here like we did the first match here. But before we get into this game, I usually like to do a little prediction, just have a little fun here. Who do you think is going to run away with this victory here?
Oh gosh. Lots of respect to NoGlocko. But I it is going to be a question of like, is Kazghar just going to be super duper fast and just win everything? I personally lean towards more the sooner you can end the game, the better you're more likely to win. So I'm gonna go with Kazghar just because their decks are just a teeny bit more aggro.
You brought up that NoGlocko is a popular streamer, especially here in the Aspirant series. He's made a name for himself, and I like playing Hearthstone with the guy, but I gotta have to agree with you. I think that Kazghar's hit you in the face techniques are definitely going to be beneficial down the line. I think it's going to be a 3-1 series here. I think Kazghar is going to get the win, jump out quickly. Maybe NoGlocko will get the win with the Warrior, maybe in a Mirror Warrior matchup. But I think Kazghar is going to get the win nonetheless. As we get ready to wrap up this stream, we got ourselves one last series to go here, and it is off and running. And would you look at that? We start off with the Warrior Mirror match, ladies and gentlemen. Both Kazghar and NoGlocko going for the Warrior. NoGlocko drawing a Brawl, a Cutting Class, and an Anchor right away. Kazghar, Corsair Catch, an Upgrade, another Chorus, and a Cutting Class. So if you're NoGlocko, the Brawl may not be necessary right now, but the Cutting Class might be.
Cutting class is definitely a must keep. I agree with you on the Brawl. There's not going to be a lot of going wide on board, but they're choosing to fully mulligan this hand, which is interesting because the cutting class Inkar is a pretty good combo. And I don't think you need to go as fast as you may need to think in the Warrior Mirror, I would believe, because it's just about getting those weapons online and having a good hand to just go pretty crazy.
Yep. Kazghar already getting a Wrench Caliber in hand, so we'll keep an eye on that later on. Meanwhile, NoGlocko will draw an Upgrade. We'll have an Armor Smith in hand as well, but decides to do the Hero Power just to get a little extra help there with his health.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, you're saving them for the risky skippers and stuff like that, so it makes a lot of sense.
Kazghar, meanwhile, kind of thinking of what they could do. You got the Corsair Catch as an option, and I think that's going to be the case. Going to draw a weapon. It's going to be the other Wrench Caliber with an extra durability added to that as well, so another chance for bombs. Meanwhile, NoGlocko, we had talked about the Anchor getting mulligan. It's back. And we, just like that, we see a risky skipper get drawn into hand. So now that opens it up a little bit for NoGlocko here to get some more shields, especially with the Armor Smith risky combo there.
It can, but there's no cutting class, unfortunately. So the
True.
Anchor draw is not as massive unless they just draw it off the top right here. But now, here we go. This is bombs starting up, and honestly, this is a big race at the moment. Just who can get the bombs online the fastest. And right now, Kazghar in a pretty good position.
Shieldbot comes into play for NoGlocko, and the Anchor is going to bring out the other risky skippers. So NoGlocko can kind of think about what they can use to set up for the risky skippers here. Not really, something you would want to do right now, but maybe down the line you have an opportunity. Meanwhile, Kazghar coming with a Cutting Class.
Yep, it's just draw. At the moment, there's just like literally, this is great. There's not going to be a lot of stuff happening for the next couple of turns, but you don't really need to worry about that as Kazghar. You could just simply smack the face, press Hero Power, and just continue on. Like, this is not a very active hand. Like, the green skin has no target. The Armor Smith is just a tempo drop just to clear out the hand. The board's not getting wide. Like, this is basically a garbage hand right now for NoGlocko.
Yeah, Kazghar threw 2 bombs into that deck, so some to keep in worth mention later on. Scratch that, make that a 3rd bomb going into the deck now here. And like you said earlier, Kazghar, the race was on to get the bombs going, and Kazghar is in a prime position right now. Because with the Corsair catch, they were able to add the extra attack, the extra durability to one of the range calibers, which really has helped them down the line as Kazghar draws a Deathwing Mad aspect.
Yeah, and right now, this is perfectly fine. You're not really worried about board clear. The only thing you would really want is to reanimate, which is like, okay, an 8/8's fine, but I have a 12/12 for 8 mana in my hand, so I'm not really worried. Yeah, I just, the hand will slow down a little bit, but honestly, if they pull a, well, actually, no, they have Boom Mad Aspect, so this is still pretty good, and they still have about, that was just 1 bomb, so they still have 3 others, so a full board of bombs is possible.
Yep.
This is, like, really good for Kazghar. I don't think NoGlocko has an answer. With both Blade Storms gone, the only thing left is the Brawl, and you don't really want to Brawl because that's just all going to face, and you only have 23 health. Oh,
Meanwhile, NoGlocko brings out
Deathwing
a
is
Deathwing
huge.
Of his own, but instead goes for the risky skipper and the armor smith.
Oh, it makes sense more, actually. There's more bodies on board that potentially could absorb the damage, but all of these are going face! Oh my gosh, so many went face. That was okay. In reality, that was 1 damage, technically, out of all those bombs because of the healing. And then with the hero power, managed to gain back up. So technically, they healed for 1 after all that. So that's not terrible, but that's
It could have been thought out better, especially with the fact that you didn't have a lot on your plate. Meanwhile, we see Mad Aspect come into play here for Kazghar.
none of your Corsair caches are showing up, and this is feeling pretty bad. There's just literally all the fuel to like make your weapons super awesome, but there's no weapons per se.
Yep. So the other Mad Aspect will come into play, cancel each other out. And yeah, no, Glocko's really just, it's there. You have the options, they're there, but you can't do anything about it because you're not getting the weapons. And now, guess what? You're getting more bombs being thrown into your deck, so the worst is yet to come. And Blastmaster Boom comes in for NoGlocko.
Just all the reminders of you have a thing that can plant bombs, but you don't have the thing.
The Hearthstone gods are taunting NoGlocko at this point. That's how bad this is.
I will say one thing about Kazghar, though. I don't know how much of a fan I was about the hero power. I think it would have been nicer just to play Dr. Kaznov just to continue getting the value, but it's not that big of a deal. It just would have been nice because then basically you could swing Wrench Caliber this turn without worrying about losing it. But this is totally fine. This will get them a couple of minions. We'll just get them 1 minion, which is nice. Okay. I mean, this is definitely going to be a lot slower of a turn, but I think next turn definitely play with Kazghar because there's like, or Kaznov, excuse me, because there's going to be, at some point, you know, NoGlocko needs to at least put something on board to start challenging the health total because it's just running away from him.
And another bomb goes into deck with NoGlocko. It just, ugh.
Do they have? Oh well, they have Horde Pillager, and they didn't play Ankar, so they're probably fine.
We'll have another risky skipper, another armor smith, and just the hero power. It
just nothing good.
No, nothing that can help NoGlocko in this position. NoGlocko's just trying to stay alive at this point. But now, like you said, Kazghar got the Krastenov. Plus the Galakrond hero power. It's just I don't.
Problem was is that it might have been good to hold on to the weapon, because once you play Doctor, you were able to keep that going. I mean, technically, you do have a Horde Pillager in the deck. That's great, but you have it in the deck right now. You don't have it in hand, so
Right.
you're gonna have to basically play the waiting game for a little bit. There's still things that you can do. The hero power allows you to keep up the momentum of hitting face, which is nice, but now it's a little less impactful as it would be with the weapon.
Meanwhile, Kazghar basically also boosted up the shield a little bit as well. NoGlocko gonna come in here, basically try and play Crocs just to get something on the board.
Yep. It's rough.
Shield Slam comes in. Yeah, this game is not looking good for Glocko early on to start this series.
Okay,
Brock
well, yeah. Shield Slam's gonna be able to get rid of it. Oh, okay. Cutting class just to see what you get first, I guess. It's not as cheap. Gets the combo if they wanted to use that. But yeah, this is.
It's not good.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough. But I mean, the good news is for NoGlocko is that what they see, what they get. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Did they get
Is
the
it gonna end
last
with a
one?
bomb? No.
No, but there's the Excalibur. It's taken a million years and a day, and they can play Dr. Kazov to clear out the 6/4. So there's some. Wait, okay, they're playing Dark. Okay, whew, they have enough mana for this. Good. All right,
And you get the upgrade as well.
it's very nice. Okay, now we have a game. So if NoGlocko can find their other shield block, they can eat another bomb, which will be the last bomb in the deck in theory, because they don't have any other ways of getting bombs except for Horde Pillager, for Kazghar. So now this could be interesting.
The question is it too little too late? Yes, it is. That's gonna do it.
Yeah.
Yep. So a valiant effort near the end for NoGlocko, but really just nothing that they could do. They just couldn't get all they had the support for the weapons.
That was rough.
And they just couldn't do anything with it, really.
Yeah.
So
No, go ahead, sorry.
no, you're fine, dude. I was just gonna say Kazghar goes up on the series 1-0. We saw the Warrior mirror match. If you're NoGlocko, though, the question is now, do you go back with the Warrior, try it again, knowing what happened in this first game? Or do you try your luck with the Demon Hunter and Druid? Because like we've been saying, it's there. The options are there. They just didn't have the weapons to do it. And by the time they got the Excalibur, it was too late.
I guess for me, I would just probably queue up the Druid. I was actually thinking maybe the Druid would be queue up first, because while the Druid is super duper strong, I honestly feel like there is definitely in a lot of Druid decks, there's a reliant on making sure that the draw is powerful enough to get away with. And when you're reliant on the mulligan being super duper effective, which is not hard sometimes if you're Druid, but there is those off chances where the mulligan just, you get all your big stuff and it's pretty backwards. You're drawing the stuff that you drew the stuff that you're trying to draw for with the other card, so it makes it really difficult. So maybe just queue up the Druid and see if you can get that out of the way. I mean, the Bomb War's out of hand, so you're not really worried about the overflow being negated for heal. I mean, you can go back to Warrior. I mean, there's so many options with this. This Bomb Warrior's out of the way, so that's a silver lining for NoGlocko. But I mean, this is a pretty aggro lineup for Kazghar, so it's a lot of questions.
Yeah, I think like for Kazghar, you can't go wrong with either the Rogue or the Warlock and everything. Like you said, it's an entire aggro lineup this time around.
Yeah,
you're gonna hit the face regardless. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here as we get ready for game 2 here. Kazghar up 1-0 in the series at the moment. Game 2 just get ready to kick off here as we see it is indeed NoGlocko bringing the Warrior back. Kazghar is going to counter with the Zulok.
Okay, so again, still still worried for NoGlocko. Just hoping that the draw power will be good for them. Maybe keep the brawl at the very least. That would probably be my guess, just because the Warlock can go wide on board.
Kazghar is deciding to mulligan the entire hand. Gets a Nightshade Matron, a Flesh Giant, and a Shadowlight Scholar here. NoGlocko does the same. I don't think that was really a bad hand to start off with.
It wasn't. It was.
And
well, okay. I guess for both hands, this is pretty slow. Which is, I guess, good for Kazghar, because that mulligan wasn't that bad. I feel like
the
for
mulligan,
Kazghar.
the mulligan
Oh
wasn't
my
bad
gosh.
for Kazghar. Oh boy.
Okay, so all right, now this is better. This is definitely better of a hand. I mean, the mulligan is way more forgiving for the Warlock than it is for the Warrior, I feel like. Because you definitely have, 2 mana draw cards, so it's not that big of a deal. And this is definitely really nice. So now they can discount the Flesh Giant, which means the 4 mana's effect is going to be more effective for the draws, which is great. And now they're on top of that. If they wanted to do it next turn, they can, because basically there's a 33. Well, actually, there's a 66% chance that they're going to be able to draw 3 cards as opposed to discard the Flesh Giant if they wanted to do that. So, but I think they're going to be playing it safe. Corsair cast is pretty huge, does allow them to get the bombs, and this is where now it becomes the race. Do you get a board wide enough that they can't really focus on planting bombs as NoGlocko, or does NoGlocko just start hitting the face and there's no real way to start ramping up fuel as Kazghar?
We're gonna see the Dark Glare come in now for Kazghar, the Flame Imp, and also we'll probably see. No, we're gonna see a life tap as well. And you guys gotta keep in mind here, the Dark Glare really is gonna be helping them out this one, because of each damage that the Warlock takes, you're getting 2 mana back. So you're basically able to go from no minions on the board to now 4 minions on the board. One of them with the opportunity to that Dust Rattle to be a Canathrad Prime down the line. So real good moves by Kazghar here.
Oh wow, really good line of play and sort of great opening to see. Will be able to pretty much clear the board to a non-threatening position. That next turn, dropping the Wrench Caliber will not feel as bad, and you will not take as much damage. But we see in hand with Caster Vision, there's just no stopping this fuel. This is pretty strong altogether. There's 8 damage on the board, and with that Shield Slam gone and no real way of gaining an armor toll that's fast enough, this is already going to be painful. You just kind of got to take it on the chin if you're the Warrior as NoGlocko.
Yep, so we'll see Wrench Caliber and an upgrade come into play here, as well as one of the cutting classes.
I like this. Gets the brawl. Yes, this is exactly what they need. Lord Baroff, if they get the risky skipper, this could be a huge resource saver.
Yep. We'll see 1 bomb go into the deck. Kazghar in a very interesting position here. Probably gonna go with the Nightshade, the Matron, I would think, to knock out one of the Hands of Gul'dan.
Let's see. Will they have it? Yeah, their hand space should be fine.
Oh yeah.
I guess just draw to draw to get the Flesh Giant
and a Soul Fragment, another Soul Fragment, so they're able to boost up the health just a little bit there.
Can't complain as the Warlock. You'll take what you can get.
Nope.
Will be just pretty much go as wide as possible. Oh, they'll keep the Flesh Giant. Okay, I feel like I guess you haven't seen any of the brawls yet, so you kind of hold on to 8-8. But as the golden player, I would immediately just play this to try to hit face as fast as possible. But this is smarter.
Yep. So we're gonna see Brawl 1 come into play here. Flesh Giant and the Matron go away, so the Tour Guide is all that is standing, and another bomb goes into Kazghar deck. Meanwhile, we're gonna see another Dark Glare.
Let's see. Maybe they'll get the Flesh Giant.
They did not get the
Don't-
Flesh Giant,
No.
but this. I don't think the other Dark Glare is necessary because you already got one on the field. You're already good mana wise.
It's a body on the board though. A 3/4 is just nice, and the more pressure you can produce, the better. Because the faster you can end this game, the less likely the bombs are gonna blow up in your face.
And I think Kazghar is kind of listening to your words of wisdom there, Bemi. As we see the Flame Moon come into play after the Dark Glare, so now you're gonna have six mana back here.
Oh my gosh, this is basically putting in a position that if they just draw one bomb, that's it.
Yep. But meanwhile, they got a basically a full board down the line here. If you're Kazghar, so not enough for the Deathwing.
That's good. They can get. Oh, okay. Oh, sure. Yeah. Bear up into Shield Slam. That's pretty big. And I think that actually just puts Kazghar out of the game.
Basically, didn't draw a bomb, which is good.
Can't
But
tap
yeah,
hero
you're not.
power.
You can't. Yeah, you could tap hero power if you really want to, but you don't have the soul shards anymore.
You have one, I think.
No, they use they use both of them already.
Oh, gosh,
it'll
okay.
back to back. Yeah.
You're doing a better job than I am keeping track of it. I trust you.
Well, and just like I
okay,
say that, we got two more back in the deck, so it's either you're gonna get health or you're gonna lose health. And just like that, they get. Oh, never mind. They blew up a soul shard just because they can. And yeah, that's gonna do it.
It's all for naught.
Deathwing comes into play. Wrench Caliber for the win, and NoGlocko ties it up. A better showing with this with the Warrior deck this time around than the previous game. And meanwhile, for Kazghar, it looked like a good idea, but everything was going well for Kazghar. But the second that brawl came into play, it was like the cliff the cliff climber game from Price is Right. And it was going up, and it just falls down, just straight down. It was game over.
Yeah.
For Kazghar right away, but NoGlocko gets the win, ties it up here. So now I think we might see NoGlocko's Druid deck. You know, the deck that you were interested in seeing. You thought that NoGlocko would play it first. If Kazghar goes back with the Warlock, what adjustment do you think that they have to do, if any?
I mean, I respect Kazghar's playstyle with the Zulak. You're in or you're out. It's pretty much all or nothing. It's a very much like throw caution to the wind in some regards. You can't play it safe, and just unfortunately just also wasn't able to get the second Flesh Giant from the 0 mana spell. But either way, I don't think Kazghar needs to make too many changes to make sure that they maintain a lead. I think the way they're playing is fine. I do feel like both players, though, and this is maybe me being more hypercritical, but just as a food for thought, is just trying to take a little more time in the mulligan. I feel like they're rushing the mulligan just a tad, because we did see some mulligans we go like, I would have liked to keep this card at least. But it worked out for NoGlocko, and it worked out for Kazghar in the long run, just because you're less punished with your mulligan because you can draw as many cards as you want as the Warlock. So going into this, I think just a little more patience in the mulligan would be nice. But I mean, if they queue up Druid with NoGlocko, it's what you're looking for. You're going into it with the idea that you are looking for overgrowth, or you're looking for Lightning Blossom, and those are the two big cards that you're looking for.
Yep. Well, we have a tie series 1-1 game 3 is literally right around the corner. We're waiting for the our competitors here to pick their classes. Looks like they have, and indeed, we know. All right, so NoGlocko is hiding the druid, brings out the demon hunter instead. Kazghar decides to opt out for the rogue and keeps the warlock in bay for potentially game 4 or 5 here, depending on what goes on. I'm gonna be honest with you, we brought up the mulligans and all stuff. I would not touch a damn thing on either side. I think you're in a good position if you're Kazghar and NoGlocko. Maybe
Yeah, I'm content. But okay, I guess they want more of their. I guess they want to guarantee that they have their combos. But with no activators, they're just going to be sitting in hand a lot, and especially
Mhm.
against the aggro demon hunter. Maybe not as aggro as it once was in the beginning, but still aggro all the same because it's one mana hit the face. Could be a little dangerous, and I don't mind the swaps here or there. Skull
Nope.
Gul'dan is going to be a little bit awkward, but whatever, you know.
In the shadows.
Yep, so Spy Mistress comes into play. Easy little start for Kazghar here with the Rogue. And if only that was not a stealth minion, that I-Beam would have been great. But
Well, hey, it's going to come out of the shadows at any time soon. It's got to. It
that's
can't
true.
be just a 3-1 that's sitting on the board all day.
Meanwhile, we see a Spirit Jailer come into play here. So we now have 2 Soul Shards in for NoGlocko. And not really a whole lot you can do if you're Kazghar. Maybe just hero power and probably attack face. Save the stunner and the secret for later. Or just
I feel like the hand. I understand this line of thought because Kazghar hand is a little too slow. So the sooner you can just get that online, and there's a lot of like early spells for the demon hunter, so the probability of playing it between 1 to 5 is very likely. If not, then it's at the very least something that's sitting there. But if they if they did wait, they would have gotten the Hanar.
the Hanar. So now you're basically you basically just shot yourself in the foot just a little bit there, because you could have had a whole lot more secrets than just one. But
Yeah.
you gotta wait just a little bit now. So I don't think Blackjack Stunner is necessarily one you want to use now. I think this is where you just hero power say, like you said, the hands is slowed down a little bit. You need some activators for combos. With the Blackjack Stunner in hand, you can either go Questing Adventure and boost up, or Blackjack Stunner, depending on what NoGlocko plays here. So far, just a Spectral Sight, which will bring a Soul Fragment.
Okay. Pretty good draws.
Yep.
Let's see what the dirty tricks get.
Secret Passage and Edwin Van Cleef. So we now see another Spirit Jailer go in. So now we have three Soul Shards in the deck right now. So NoGlocko's got the health available. Kazghar, however, you can do one of two. I think really the only play that you can do here is a Questing Adventurer and then the Wand Thief for the combo. That's the only one I can think of right now, because you don't have the secret for Blackjack Stunner. You don't have anything for Shadow Jeweler Hanar.
Maybe you don't care about getting the value of the blackjack, but they are going to go for that. The only other line of play I could potentially see was the stunner into Miscreant, because then you could get like 6/6 Van Cleef next turn. With the 2 lackeys plus Van Cleef, which is just another line of play and sort of prep for that. But I definitely think you get a lot more bang for your buck here. And the Ray of Frost is not bad at all.
Nope, it's just more fodder for the adventurer, but the adventurer goes away with the Soul Shear. And we're gonna see the Wand Thief go away now. Really, just kind of a slow-paced game here. To start out, neither one making heavy splashes early on.
No, but it's not the end of the world. I mean,
Oh, no.
if the demon hunter's being slow, you're certainly going to be okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if it might have been a good idea just to Ray of Frost that, play the Miscreant, and then have a bigger Van Cleef next turn. But
I think that would have been the better position, because those actually will definitely help you out there. Plus, you also got Feral Cat as well, so I think Kazghar is just thinking kind of add pressure early on, but now it just we'll see how this works, because it's either going to work well for him or it's going to bite him in the ass. One of the two.
it'll do something. I mean, a 6/6 is a 6/6.
Yep.
So whatever, but when it's all by itself, it's not maybe as intimidating. This does. So we'll get cleared, and there's still a couple of crystals left in the hand.
Yep. Yeah,
So
there's
it's
about 5 available. So the health, the regen is still there.
Okay. Not a terrible card. Dragon Lackey's pretty good. You could get potentially, what would be nice? I guess some heal or like a Deathwing Mad Aspect could be nice. Something untargetable. Onyxia, or Plagued. Actually, maybe the Plague Protodrake, just because it's a little bit stickier.
Yeah, the Plague Protodrake sounds better. And next year really wouldn't. I don't think it would work with in this situation, but the Plague Protodrake down the line would definitely work out.
Yeah. I just was thinking like maybe because like Demon Hunter has a problem with like wide boards. Like if you have the word hunter in you, you pretty much don't like it wide board any day of the week. So that was my only thought. But an 8/8 that goes into a 7-drop that could be ridiculously mental is pretty nice. The only thing about the Onyxia, you know what you're getting yourself into with the 7-drop. It could be something, I don't think detrimental, but it could be something not as impactful as you're looking for.
Meanwhile, the 5 attack minion and hero will attack face, and now we are tied in health.
Okay.
See Cobalt Lucky come in, take out the 5/2. And the backstab clear board for Kazghar here. And we do see secret passages
What are we
come
looking
into play.
for? I guess we're just looking for more bodies to hit the field. Questing Adventure's not bad.
You got another backstab and a Spy Mistress as well.
I mean, Questing Adventure, Spy Mistress. I mean, that's a good use of using that card. I would say just go ahead and start going wide on board if you can. And it's a 4/4. That's not bad health. It requires a hero power, hitting face, using resources. It may not be a tall minion as you're looking for, but you already have tall minion options thanks to Dragon Lackey. So you're not worried about the Questing Adventurer being big.
Give me a quest.
I think exactly that's the play here.
Yep, and good placement.
Yep.
What? Oh, okay. I guess they really. Oh,
They powered it up.
Yeah, but that would have been a 5/5 then, wouldn't it? Oh no, because it doesn't start as 3/3. It starts as 2/2. Whoops.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Doesn't matter though.
Nope.
Is pretty nutty.
That hurts just a little bit there.
It hurts a lot. I mean, that is about what? 15 damage right there.
Yep. But now you got the Plague Protodrake comes
14.
in.
Okay, yeah, but I mean, you can, in theory, ignore that or just have other things that work. Ooh, okay. Well, okay. It's something you can't ignore per se because definitely need it to. Oh, hold on.
Slow fragment.
Oh my
there it is.
gosh!
Well, that's gonna drown that out real quickly. Consume Magic comes in, silences the Proto Drake. The Eye Beam comes in, gets some health back.
That was huge.
Wow, big play by NoGlocko there. turning the tide of this match early on. Kazghar has to find a way to respond here, and so far just going to play a Wrap Golem with the Reborn. Not really a heck of a whole lot they could do because that hand is just not helpful at the moment. But the Wrap Golem will be because it does draw a taunt.
Yeah, it makes things just a teeny bit awkward, but I mean, we do also see that the cane is in hand, so who cares?
Yep.
So.
And I think NoGlocko realizes this.
Wait, do they just have lethal?
I
If
think
they just play cane.
I think
Yes,
they have lethal.
because
Yep.
cane.
Yep,
gets you
that's
5
lethal.
mana. Yep.
That is lethal. So NoGlocko, after a slow start, just able to come out, swing hard, swing fast, and with that win, we'll go up in the series 2-1 with the win against Demon Hunter against Kazghar. And really, we talked about it going into the game. We didn't like the hand to start off for Kazghar. Before he mulliganed, it was great. It was perfect. It could have easily worked. You mulligan your
It
entire
was
hand.
accurate, yeah.
Yeah, you mulligan your hand. You basically you had the cards, but you had no way to activate the combos, which really put you behind early on. And NoGlocko definitely took advantage of that.
Yeah, I think especially with a deck that is potentially aggressive almost any given day of the week as Demon Hunter, it does make you wonder, like, why on earth would you try to, you know, get combos as opposed to the combo activators? Because at that point, the combo, if you get the combo, that's more of a bonus. What's better to do is have bodies on board and be able to go as wide as possible and just try to make your opponent answer as opposed to hitting the face if your opponent's a Demon Hunter. So now going into this druid is finally going to hit the field. I hope. I don't think there's any other physical possible way that they could avoid playing the druid now. But they have 2 chances to win with this deck, which is great for them, especially with that big King Feoris kind of circling around, making me wonder how it's going to be played out. If it is going to be played out, is it just simply a 10-minute 5/5, or is it going to be something that's going to be more useful than that? Many questions. So queuing up maybe the Warlock.
I think that's the thing is that both the Warlock and the Rogue are kind of like aggro based a little bit here. The Rogue especially
Sure.
here. And this Druid deck is kind of more built towards getting your mana up as fast as you can to hit them hard with like the Ysera or the Ferocis, like you said. So I think the Warlock would be the best spec to go with, but at the same time, we could also see. I don't think Rogue is necessarily a bad answer as well. While
No.
Warlock may make the most sense, Rogue may be more of a okay. Maybe throw NoGlocko a bit of a curveball here. Let's see how he responds. But it's simple. NoGlocko needs to win with the Druid to start his campaign here in season 5 off to a 1-0 start. He's up 2-1. Got the Druid. Kazghar still has Warlock and Rogue as we get ready for game 4 here on the Aspirant CCG Twitch page. And we do see the Warlock. Again, it makes sense. It makes sense for Kazghar here. And really, if I'm Kazghar, just stay with that hand. Don't touch it. Don't do a damn thing. You don't need to do anything with that because you got bodies all over the place with that.
Maybe try to guarantee the Flesh Giant is all I can think about if you're trying to mulligan. And that's what they will be trying to do, and they do get rewarded.
Yep.
Okay. So
All
at
right.
least that is an 8/8 on potentially around the corner very, very soon, which is good for them. However, NoGlocko's hand, they see the overgrowth. If they do get a Ysera, that'll be pretty nice. But overall, this is a nice hand.
It's a very nice hand, and that's basically it here. So we'll see Crystal Power take out the 3/2 threat there, just to maintain a little bit of board presence. We'll see a life tap.
They
come
might
in.
be. They might. I'm wondering if they might just save on to try to do altering damage as much as they can to make sure that the 0 mana will guarantee the Flesh Giant coming next turn. Because I mean, is going to be a little bit slow.
And you got
They
both.
they can coin Flesh Giant next turn as well.
You got both Flesh Giants in hand now.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy. Lightning
Alright.
Bloom come in. And early Guardian Animals. A Lake Thresher and Twilight Runner. Oh, that's gonna be so huge. And a new Assassin Defender as well. Just like that, NoGlocko with an early advantage on with against Kazghar here.
Yeah. And and like, let's see. Breath of Dreams is gonna be coming. I mean, survival of the fittest just seems like it's gonna happen in 1 or 2 turns. I can't mana count to save my life, but I see a lot of mana growth.
They're gonna play Overgrowth here. Okay. So after this turn, they're gonna be at 9. You got the Innervate there. Yeah, survival of the fittest. Not this upcoming turn, but next turn will come into play.
Let's see.
Which is going to be huge.
7 plus 5 is 12. It's lethal already on the board. I mean, they have to play their talents, otherwise it's just going to be difficult. And they may even need to Soulfire to guarantee that they clear at least one of these minions.
Mm-hmm. Instead, they play a Flame Imp, and they're gonna play both Flesh Giants, just like that.
Okay, so they are addressing it. That's good.
A Soul Shear also comes in, so they'll have 2 Soul Shards in the deck, but that can be too little too late.
Yep. Okay, well, this is... I guess you just trade into one of the imps just because that will force the Flesh Giant to trade into the 3/5. But I mean, even then, you're at a full health total right now, so who cares? Maybe just hit the face and make sure that the next time you can go through it. I mean, let's see. What would they draw into that would help them guarantee lethal? Nothing really.
Not that.
No, it won't. That's very true. Okay. I mean,
actually, if I'm NoGlocko, Lake Thresher to the second imp on the right, because you'll be able to knock out the first imp and the tour guy. So all you'll have standing is the Flesh Giant.
That's kind of what my line of thinking was, is because if you clear that, the Flesh Giants have to trade, and that's, that means that nothing will survive, but you sustain damage. But then the argument is you're really at full health. There's no way of buffing the Giants. What you see is what you get, so it just may not be that big of a deal. But yeah, nothing's gonna survive.
Nope.
Okay, things are slowing down, actually, looking at this hand for NoGlocko. So Kazghar, pretty good position, because there's no real way of clearing the Flesh Giants, per se. Honestly,
not at the moment. And we'll see a Shell Scholar. So you're getting rid of health, but you're knocking out that Lake Thrasher, which is huge, just because of the damage it can do.
Oh yeah. Okay, that helps speed up the hand a little bit. You have the broomstick.
Yep.
Oh, but they're gonna go for the Ysera. Just start building up.
Yep.
Dragons. Okay. Gonna go for the overflow. Actually.
Oh, what? But why would you do that?
I guess for more answers on board. I'm not entirely convinced myself. Okay, so my thought was let's see. Are you dead if you play Ysera? Because let's see, 16 plus 2 is 18 plus 3 is 21. So you're not dead on board, because that would be also 4 from hand because of the Soulfire. So that's not that big of a deal. But I suppose suppose the argument is that if you draw, you have more answers on board, and then at some point the deck will be thinner. And then if you just play one Ysera and you're able to draw a lot of dragons in one turn, that really is going to be it for the Warlock, because the Warlock can't really answer a board that wide.
Nope.
So thinning the deck does help make the Ysera more impactful in one turn as opposed to over a long period of time, which is probably the best. That's what I'm going for in my theory. So I'll just say for argument's sake that they wanted more answers on board to buy time, so when they play the Yseras are more impactful one turn, and that is probably the line of play they were going for.
And I think that's going to be the play itself. But meanwhile, Kazghar is really not just doing anything to himself. You know, he was at 10 health. Now he's down to 8 with the tap and everything. But now we're both at 8 now. So Kazghar is looking for lethal for next turn. NoGlocko, meanwhile, you got the
What are you drawing for, dude?
I
feel like you should have played the Emerald Explorer. Oh, okay. They can play Lightning Bloom. They don't get the rush, though.
No, they don't. They don't.
I feel like Emerald Explorer would have been better here, because you can Emerald Explorer. That would be 6 mana out of 9.
That's it.
Yeah.
That is it.
Wait, what did the Emerald Explorer wouldn't even have helped. This is basically just me just trying to see, like, taunt health, kinda.
No, nothing they could have done in that one there. So NoGlocko, I'm sorry, excuse me, Kazghar ties it up against NoGlocko, and that was just, I don't know what NoGlocko was thinking in that round. I really don't. It just,
I don't think we can be too critical on NoGlocko. I think that was fair, because I mean, what's a 4/12 really gonna do for you? You're not dead technically, but then after that you have 4 health, and it's like, yeah, definitely you could have drawn a lot. I feel like I would have gone for the Ysera play as well, but I want to think that I understood the line of thinking, in that it was trying to make the Ysera more impactful by thinning out the deck and going this way. Plus you're healing for 5, plus you have other stuff. But I mean, looking at the deck for NoGlocko, don't really know what else they would be looking for, except maybe the Feoris, because you would have been able to get Feoris, Lightning Bloom, then Guardian of the Spirit, and some other stuff would be able to get you some like pretty big minions. That's all I can think of. I think this just, unfortunately, it looks more questionable because they didn't draw into some good stuff.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, is that I think that's why I'm kind of questioning it, because they didn't draw into anything that could have been of value.
So question the deck more than the player here, Jimmy.
Question the deck more than the player. Well, it's also the player decision, because, like you said, you would have gone with the Ysera play. It was a safe. It was a safe play, basically.
But NoGlocko has a higher rank than me, and has probably had more competitive accomplishments than I am. So I'm going to just agree that NoGlocko's line of play was one of the few options they had, and they did with what they could work with. So I think I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Well, just like the first match series we had in the stream earlier, we now have another Game 5. NoGlocko with the Druid, Kazghar with the Rogue. Let's just get right into this thing, and pray to God not another 2-hour match.
Well, good news is that this is Rogue versus
Druid.
So either somebody's going to concede very quickly, or somebody's going to be hit in the face very, very fast. So I think this Game 5 is going to be a little more up your alley, Jimmy. So if you just can muscle in that last bit of energy,
I think I can do that.
I think you can too. So let's get into this. No Overgrowth might keep the Guardian, or I'm sorry, not the Guardian. You might keep Guardian Animals. Lightning Bloom is fine. Gets both them. Unfortunately, also gets the Lake Thrasher as well. So that does diminish it, because I don't think they run 2. I think they only run one Lake Thrasher.
I think they run 2. No, I think they run.
No,
I
they
thought
do. They do.
Yeah,
Okay.
they run 2. So
They run the beast version of this deck. Okay, so cool. And little bit of a similar problem, but not big of a deal. I mean, that's a great 3-mana reborn minion, but okay, there's the overgrowth. Okay, never mind.
Yep.
All right, guys, you can go home. We're done. It's fine. It's
that's
over
it.
with.
That's it. We're done.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah, honestly.
Rest of Dreams, draw the card. No mana.
Gets the other Thrasher as well. Okay. Well, that's why you have the brooms.
That's true.
We're not okay. To be fair to Kazghar, getting both Lake Thrashers and waiting coin overgrowth, you got a couple of turns to defend yourself.
Yep.
There's no AoE board clears that are easily accessible now for NoGlocko, so you stand a chance if you go wide on the board now. Honestly, I would argue to say you. Oh, well, I mean, okay, so you could save on to the Van Cleave, but I was thinking maybe go for the 4/4 Van Cleave. That's a terrible mummy. That's not generous at all. That's generous for
No.
your opponent.
Yes. But I think the safe play here would be for the Evil Miscreant build up for a bigger Edwin Van Cleef here. And also like, you can do that next turn as well as the Spy Mistress and the other Evil Miscreant. So,
Ooh. Do they hold on to Lightning Bloom actually, and do they just do nothing? If they let this turn lie, that this could be like a huge swinging point for Kazghar.
I think it depends on what they draw. I mean, I don't think.
Oh, they get a. Oh my gosh, this Guardian Spirit is going to at least get the taunts, which is, or like almost guaranteed that they get the taunts. I don't think there's any way they can't. They get both of them, and they have Rush. This is actually great. So they can't clear the board per se, but this is already impactful enough because things are gonna stick.
Yep.
Unless they get like a backjack starter. Nope. Okay.
You're still gonna have board clearance if you're NoGlocko. Kazghar is really not in the
Dirty tricks. Okay.
dirty tricks.
Deadly poison's pretty good because you held on to the weapon.
But now you can also pull a double. Well, actually, know what? Just go to Evil Miscreant. Save that Wand Thief for later because you could definitely use that when you're boosting up Van Cleef here.
Yep.
Because now you have a handful of one cost mana or one cost cards that's definitely going to be beneficial to you down the line.
I have a friend and we cast together sometimes, and we call it, when it's an 8/8 or higher Van Cleef, we call it the Van Cleveland because it's the Van Cleef that ate Cleveland.
There you go.
I'm expecting the Van Cleveland to come down very, very soon, but we'll see. This is a pretty slow hand. With the overload, there's not a lot of answers. The Python's really good, but at some point, if they can't get something good, like, I don't know, the Emerald Explorer is probably going to come down next turn. That would be my guess.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing else that they could draw from the Guardian animals, right?
Yeah.
Except for like 1/5/4.
I think we're gonna see Plague Protodrake get picked here, or maybe Dragon Ball Skystalker. I don't think
I like Protodrake.
I think okay,
Whelp.
they go for big old Whelp.
Okay, whatever.
Whelp.
Exactly. Oh my gosh! Oh, the rolling fireball is actually pretty good here. I would say, I don't know, because fireball could be good here, but if they play survival of the fittest anytime soon, we have capture vision. We know that this is going to be a great draw.
Yes,
but you never know with the druid. If they had survival of the fittest, that basically wouldn't even kill one of them sometimes.
And now you got 2 stealth minions now for NoGlocko. And looks like we're gonna see Edwin Van Cleef come into play here as an 8/8.
Van Cleveland. Oh my god!
And there's the broom.
The broom is massive. This could actually clear the board right now. Gonna go for the face for draw. I like this. Just see what they have.
King Ferocis.
Okay. So, Lake Thrasher Broom, you can pretty much guarantee board clear.
Yep.
The Broom, oh, because the Python, it gets the 4/4.
Oh,
You can keep this,
yeah.
get to punch the 4 in the face. Oh my
Big,
gosh, Drew
big
just
play.
doesn't. Oh my gosh, Drew just
Oh,
doesn't, man.
no. Kazghar now is basically reeling. I mean, you got the rolling fireball and stuff, but when you think about it, no matter which way you go,
What is that?
you're not clearing that board.
You can clear a lot of it though. You can clear 3 minions with the rolling fireball. No, you can clear the board. You can technically clear the board with rolling fireball into eviscerate and then use the weapon to finish off the trade, and you'll be left with at least 12
I
health.
gotcha. I was talking about rolling fireball just moving, period. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, that's what I was getting at. But yeah, so they'll get the board clear regardless. With
Oh, that's smart. They
with
get
your
to keep
eviscerate.
health.
Yep.
Okay. Good. Awesome. It was a lot better. Nice job from Kazghar. Overflow. Okay, so I guess you just innervate Feoras here. Unless you want to be greedy, which as a druid you can, but I think the Feoras is pretty. Yeah.
Feoras is yeah.
Get 2 7-drops, sure.
Yep. Ooh, and Antonidas. Oh,
Okay.
boy. Oh, that is going to oh my lord.
Okay.
That is gonna change the game here.
Yeah. Secret passage. What does it get? It's a
Wants
wand.
ambush.
Wand, ambush. Blackjack Stunner into ambush. They also have that as well. That's going great for them. What do they stun here, though? Do they just stun the Antonidas? I guess just to diminish all value.
You would have to stun the Antonidas because if you don't, you're adding. You could,
You're just dead. Okay.
I don't think there's really a bad pick here.
Primordial Studies into maybe Ray of Frost?
If that.
Wait.
Do they have
spell damage minion. Never mind. No, I'm so dumb. It's not a spell. I was thinking magic drink.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Kazghar has another eviscerate in hand, right?
Or
in the deck.
No, they have it in the deck, but they don't have it in the hand.
Right.
Okay, they're alive. Cool, I guess.
Yeah.
They have 2 brooms. If they get the second broom, I think that's just like game over.
Mm-hmm.
Because that will be Lake Thrasher. Yeah, I don't know, just punching 9. There's just 9 damage on board. That's pretty big. Emerald Explorer, just the taunts. They're so difficult to work with. The only upside is that the stunner will get the value because it's dirty tricks, and I don't think they're going to be playing a spell anytime soon. So that secret's going to stay. How do they come back from there is the question. The Flame Strike's nice. They can clear the board if something survives. No, they're gonna Guardian Spirit. Oh my gosh. What are they gonna draw for 3? Okay.
Let's see. Another overflow and overgrowth. Okay.
Okay.
So
Are they gonna leave stuff on board? Oh, I mean, it's a tougher board to deal with. That's nice, but I think they're just everything's gonna be cleared, so that's nice. But then what? Oh boy.
Oof.
Okay. I mean,
What makes
you
So
gotta.
let's see what Janet Barra gives.
Doesn't that mean they can't clear the board?
If you're Kazghar, you can't necessarily clear it. But wait a minute.
Well, you
Wait.
were.
Hold on
What's up?
here.
Okay, I'm waiting, Jimmy.
I'm thinking here because I'm seeing a blackjack stunner, a shadow step. Oh wait, what the hell? What the sweet hell?
Oh right, that's what Cloud Prince does. Wait, I need to read cards.
Wait a
They
minute.
can clear the board. They cleared the board, and it's too high of a mana to play. They're also gonna wait 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, they can't burn a card. It's only 8. But that's gonna slow things down. Hold on. Wait, but the Emerald Explorers, they're still gonna be tough to work with. They can technically do a lot of damage to it and still be able to punch the face. What the hell is going on? They can't overflow because what is happening?
I really wish we could switch over to the camera views, like for our faces and stuff, just to see our reactions.
Cloud
This is
Prince.
insane.
I didn't realize what the Cloud Prince does. Nobody plays it, but it makes sense. Why you Shadow Step? That was massive.
In all honesty, I thought they're going to I thought they were going to shadow step one of the Blackjack Stunners. I completely forgot about Cloud Prince.
I can't blame you because it's a mage card, so you don't think about playing it.
Yep.
Okay, now the ambush comes online. Okay, they can't play it this turn.
That's fine.
Wait,
All they had
are
to
they
do
dead? Is there a way to be dead? Is something X equal dead?
No, they're not.
Okay.
No, they're not.
Wait.
Kazghar,
They're
wait,
dead.
hold on. Kazghar is dead. Yes. NoGlocko is not. Kazghar did not have lethal, but that fireball is basically game over for Kazghar.
Wait, can they draw something? Does something? Wait, okay, so they big ol' whelp. Wait, hold on. Is there 2 mana rush lifesteal?
Let's find out.
I mean from the faceless. Wait, well, hold on. No, they can play the faceless. They can still play the faceless. If they get a faceless with lifesteal and they're able to kill the Antonius, that could be good. But I think they're committing. Oh no! Oh my gosh! I feel like there was. I feel like there was at least maybe like a 2 mana lifesteal thing, and they would have been if they had like a 2 attack lifesteal minion, they would have been fine, and that would have worked.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
The
Antonius.
The Antonius with a 30 point here. Congratulations to NoGlocko. The 3-2 victory over Kazghar. That had drama for all the right reasons. You want to talk about entertaining match? That was it. That was definitely the entertaining match. Just all in all, great matches overall today. It was just a wonderful stream today. Just really, again, congrats to NoGlocko, congrats to GermanShep who got the win today, and the fact that these are 3-2 defeats for Kazghar and Fanboy. Yeah, they start season 5-0-1, but this 3-2 is going to help them down the line, especially towards the playoffs and everything, because those game differentials are going to definitely come into place.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, there's so many rounds in the Aspirant League that is not that big of a deal. And honestly, it was a lot of fun to watch. I'm content. I watched some good Hearthstone. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And here's the thing, though. It wasn't just us that saw great Hearthstone. Everyone here saw great Hearthstone. Before we get out of here, Bemi, is there anything that you want to say? Any final words? Any parting words? Before we end this stream.
Thanks for doing this, Bard.
There it is, a man of simple words. Well, before we let you guys go, we want you to know if you missed anything, you want to replay this classic Game 5 entertaining match, or if you missed the first match of this stream today, have no fear. You can check out all the replays of anything Aspirant on the Aspirant CCG YouTube page, or YouTube channel, excuse me. The channel will have all the action from the Hearthstone series, the Venus and Mercury, Magic the Gathering series, which starts this Friday at 8 p.m. Central Time, and really any other events that are streamed on the Aspirant Twitch channel. So you don't have to worry about missing anything. You can easily get caught up going into the next stream. Bear little bit of warning though. They're not going to be able to go up until 24 hours after the broadcast ends. So unfortunately, you're going to have to wait till Labor Day to watch this broadcast. But once again, the option is there. It's there. It's there. So definitely check us out on YouTube. Make sure you also follow us here on Twitch and also on Twitter at Aspirant CCG for any news and updates. And then once again, Venus and Mercury League starts up on on Friday, September 11th, 8 p.m. Central. 64 competitors, 9-week season. It's going to be insane. If you are a Magic fan, I definitely recommend you take a listen to them. Again, congratulations to NoGlocko on the 3-2 victory over Kazghar. To the GermanShep for getting vengeance on Fanboy, 3-2 in their rematch from season 4. Want to say thank you to Bemi for jumping in for this series. It was a lot of fun. Hopefully, we can cast again, my friend.
Same here. It was a lot of fun too.
Yep. At the same time, I also want to thank my colleague before Bemi, AFG Dragon Rider, for hanging out with me during that GermanShep Fanboy match. It was great broadcasting with her. Hopefully, we get to do it again sometime. That's going to do it for us here on Aspirant. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, spending your time watching some brilliant Hearthstone. Please stay safe. Please enjoy the holiday weekend. We'll catch y'all next week.